was 12 hours ago.
I don't know. But it's not long term. I'd only be there for one thing. It's mostly just to get that paycheck, come back, and probably put a down payment on a house. Also get some operational experience.
And then the house prices triple in that time.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty set on that too.
And on the plus side, Kuwait's a nice city. Very pretty city.
Saying the Zillow CEO is next.
Get deployed to Dubai, and you get classified as a.
I'd rather go to Kuwait. Dubai is disgusting.
Or Ghana. Or sorry, no, Guam. Get deployed to Guam.
I'm good with Guam. Forward declared. I knew you were going to say that. I don't want to go back to look. I already was stationed on Hawaii. I'm done with islands. Yeah, at least Hawaii is an archipelago. Guam is one island, and a very small one at that.
Hope you like swimming.
A morning run would
comparatively developed.
Probably one of my friends is from. He says there's nothing but just nice local people. I mean, that's because he knows everybody there.
There's some positions in Norway and Okinawa too. I know how I feel about Okinawa right now. So
you can become one of Trump's people.
Oh, I don't mind the cold. I'm not from Florida.
God damn it.
I can handle weather that's above or below 67 degrees.
You do what Dutch did.
I've been in the negatives before. Can anyone? Do we even get that cold?
No. There is a city called Yakut. Is always like that. Yeah, you can. It's just not pleasant.
That's what's that in Celsius? -29, -30?
Basically, if you're outside in the cold and that heat, it can maybe last 10 minutes if you're stuck with the right clothing.
Oh no, that's -55 Celsius.
Yeah.
Why did you post that?
It's funny.
I hate the conversion ratio of Fahrenheit to Celsius in the negatives because I cannot track that formula.
It converges at -4.
Yeah, it's typically like -71 degrees. Yakutsk. It's in Russia, so
don't forget the wind chill.
I don't think it gets up in the -50s Celsius over there in Norway often.
No, not unless you're stationed at what's called Svalbard.
What was?
Just come over here. It's Australia. It's good, okay weather. Nothing to worry about over here.
I plan to. I have a cousin that lives in Sydney.
Just don't try and rent there.
I think, what was it? I was along the coast. That was the jobs. Stavanger, right there.
Stavanger? Yes.
Yes.
That's not that cold. That's more like British weather. It's more raining.
I'm not looking up north.
At the peak of Greenland.
Wherever there's national. Not north.
It actually is in the north, most of it.
Here, this is where you should be. A lot of fun in there. I put in.
It looks depressing.
It's in Russia.
I hope.
That looks like that one place from the Armored Core episode we watched yesterday.
That looks dystopian.
Armored Core is actually like based off of some places in Norway/Russia.
Well, yeah, this is in Russia.
I was about to say, look at all those factories. They have no care for their air pollution.
Like, they have designated bus stops with people living there. Because that's like the #1 place to get like diamonds in the world. Like some of the highest quality diamonds.
Diamonds are fake wealth anyway. They're absolutely a controlled wealth.
Natural diamonds. That's their like whole economy around there.
Already, what the heck? Sorry, I saw the image above it.
There. W.
Yeah, who knows?
Oh wait, is this one of the Space Force bases?
Dude, I was about to say, I'm pretty sure we don't have any Space Force bases. They're kind of banking on other bases, okay? They're not that new. I mean, they're not that old enough to have their own bases yet.
No. They just took over one of the old Air Force bases.
No, they still share.
Well, they renamed it the Space Base, apparently.
They're going to be a joke for the next 20 plus years, though. It is nice to have it, because it is something we would inevitably.
You mean something that's already been done?
Well, you gotta, like, so similar, post-World War II, the Army's going, what the hell would you need an Air Force?
There, check that one out.
Hey, we already have that. We have Project Star Wars. Reagan was one that, remember? But that's in Greenland, which is Iceland.
Yeah. Effectively.
Well, you know the mix-up between Greenland and Iceland, so... Yes and yes.
The picture I posted is literally a northern town in Norway.
See, I can handle that. That looks nice. The sun coming up. That's beautiful. That's cinematography.
Yeah, don't worry.
The sun... Except it never goes down, or it always stays up.
I know.
Well, it depends on the time of year. Usually, this time of year, they don't see the sunset.
Yeah, I've seen 28 days and nights.
In July, well, you get the sun for a month.
28 days of night. It's literally 3 months of night and 3 months of all sunny.
And as long as you don't have vampires invading the town, we're fine. Yeah, you're safe.
One of the places I almost ended up trying to apply to a job for would have had perpetual twilight. Like,
yep.
At that rate, you may as well just go to Antarctica, where it's actually just nighttime for 6 months at a time.
I might as well just go to the sun, where it's always daytime.
I have gone to Antarctica. Hello, chat. How's it going? I just got the tweet out a little bit ago, and then I went to the bathroom. Not that you needed to know that, but that's why I was indisposed of for a minute there after the tweet. We are good to go pretty much already. Got that open. The bot is working, so let's get this party started. Hello, everyone. What did I do with today's artwork? Here we go. Again, just a reminder for those of you guys on the YouTube side of things. Let me know if you experience any sort of technical difficulties, as I have fixed things over the past week here. There is today's artwork. Go give the artists some love. It is Saki Yamama, I believe. Hello, Shortcake. Hope everybody's doing good today. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I did. I did nothing but this. So welcome to my farm. This is a 4-button press, 90 plus comp. I'm not going to say there isn't more efficient out there. There probably is at least a 3 press out there. But this works for me, and I get to use my waifu. So we're doing it. It's going pretty good for me. Like I said, I'm excited because I have like more free time since I don't have to like go down to my sister's, so I don't have to like do any prep work or get any shit done ahead of time because I'm gonna leave town or anything like that. Arch, they give it the 34. Wombat, they give it the 6. Appreciate that. They give it the half year. Age, thank you for the 51. Robo, they give it the 66 as well. Thank you for the 5.5 years. Appreciate it, my man. We are, again, grinding away. We're actually doing pretty good on this. I have caught up to all the missed time that we had, so I am now at max bonus. I am so disgustingly far into max bonus that chat would be very angry if they found out my total number of drops. So we're not going to talk about that. We're going to instead pretend like it just is what it is. I think I saw Kuyami got an NP buff. Did she? If she did, that's news for me. Because I saw the Yang buff, but I hadn't seen anything for Kuyami. What mats are the 90 plus? It's fairy dust, basically. Unless I'm getting my nodes confused. You didn't, that's an edit by a big coper, you know who. Ah. Yeah, not surprised. I honestly, chat, I haven't been very active on Twitter of late. Like, I'm there, I'm reposting stuff, but I haven't made much of my posts lately because, like, a little bit, I don't want to say shit because if I say anything, it's just going to be negative, and I don't want to say stuff. Like, not about the game. I'm like holding back myself so that I don't say shit that I don't want. Like I don't want to stir the pot with people because people been acting really fucking stupid of late. Like, and not any one person. I want to be clear. Like, there's just been a whole bunch of like really, really bad takes and stuff lately, and I'm just like, God, please, people, just. I've just been like kind of chilling, just being like, nope, not gonna post anything. Let people cook themselves. All right, so let's run over here to NA. I don't have a good comp for this 90 plus node on NA. If anyone knows one, please by all means give me some pointers here. But as it currently stands, in order to 6 slot, I'm basically just kind of winging it on this node, and it works. It's usually, it can be a 3 turn, but it's usually like a 4 to probably at worst 6 turn. I'd say on average is a 4 and 5 turn though. You don't want to use mine? I absolutely don't want to use yours. I've tried to come up with some myself, and like I can get very close to 3 turning, but almost all of them have some amount of card RNG, and it's kind of annoying, and I don't like that. So basically, you guys can see I'm just kind of doing this right here, and it works, so to speak, but it's not ideal. Doman, Tyra, Scotty, A support. Doman, Tyra. So you don't need to 6 slot it. It only has 20 boxes. I do need to 6 slot because it's not the boxes I'm worried about. Well, actually, I say that I am worried about the boxes now. But when I say 6 slot, so that we're clear, chat, 6 slotting just means basically taking 6 like 6 craft essences. I'm not specifying which ones. So it's like I'm not taking all Lotto, right? I'm just taking all event CEs is what that means. So that's me not running with anything else so that I can have the maximum bonus. Basically me just being as efficient as possible for drops and AP. Do I actually have his cards? No, I do not. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna pray to God that she doesn't kill Oberon. In fact, we're also gonna do that. We're gonna take that Brave Chain. Basically, I don't have the cards here to be able to one-shot with Karna, so I'm rolling the dice here and looking at a turn 4 and hoping that I get a good hand. Gonna kill Karna, isn't she? Jesus. Alright, that's a better hand at least. Nothing went to his arts card, unfortunate. For an age, use Bazette Arcueid with 2 times Summer Scotty. Bazette. Yeah, Bazette might actually work. Does anything ever, like, pop a skill instead? Like, does Mama Raiko ever do something like that? I guess, like, Mama Raiko should get to... Well, it's actually the furthest right one, so she only should get 1 action. Raiko can? Yeah, that would be more what I'd be worried about. Because, like, if Raiko screws you, you are really screwed. Hello, Angora. How's it going? I need to do another 873 Lotto runs to bond 14 Seat and I. Why you need to bond 14 Seat and I so bad? Okay, let's actually pull out here because I actually I shouldn't be anywhere near cap. Yeah, I was gonna say because I basically hit cap earlier before stream, went in, did a node, and then went into another node. So I knew I would have some time here. We do need to do the CQ today. That's something I need to get done because again, there's only 1 day remaining, chat. So like we literally have the rest of tonight and then tomorrow, and that's it. So make sure you guys are on top of this. You don't have very long to finish anything else off. Just to give you guys a bit of a preview of how I've been operating here. You can see. Again, I am pretty much full to the actual brim. We're going to do a little bit of box management here. Nothing too crazy. I'm not going to bore you guys with this sort of thing for like hours on end. But you can see I'm fairly full up. I didn't want the 8 stack. I wanted the 5 stack. Whatever. We'll do this. I'll go ahead and I'll throw another stack in there because I have the I have all the black boxes to open as well. Bima a thick boy? Bima is a thick boy. So what you guys see there is that's my MHX getting leveled. That MHX is the only unit I can currently level without, quote, wasting embers. So that's why I'm trying to be like as min-maxy as I can with the embers here. Oh, got another black box. So you can see I can only refresh 1 time. I'm on my 19th prize. That means I'm like coming in perfect on that AP. Perfectly managed, chat, because I don't have to buy any of the Cherry Icicle copies. I just got all of my Karna Santa coins, and everything else that's left is statues and monuments, which I do not give 2 shits about. So like I am with that run, I am now done with shop, which means everything else here is basically I just need drops. So let's go ahead and put them all back in. Ooh, that gets spicy on party cost. Let's see. Can I... There's no 2-star that I have. Yeah, I was gonna say there's no 2-star that I have that's not Bond 10. That's unfortunate. I think the only 1-star that I have is our newest one and technically a Rash. So she's going to Bond 10 at this point. Which is funny because now I have enough room for another. I really shouldn't do this though, because things can go spicy, so I actually won't do that. Yes, that's more bond efficient, but it is entirely possible that the comp scuffs, and so I kind of want Mash on the back end. Because she at least has an invuln that I can throw out on someone. Will you skip the 5 rare prisms from Karna? What do you mean? Like you're talking about the Karna copies? There you go. Oh, that. No, yeah, I'll grab these. That's not a problem. Again, boom. None of that's an issue. I did forget that that's there at the bottom though, so thank you for the reminder. I probably would have caught it like before the end of the event, but because I usually like on the last day of an event, I go do a like double check to make sure I don't fuck anything up in the shop. There you go. See? Easy. But yeah, there's nothing else in the shop I have to buy, so. Blah 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 blah. Yep, that's basically it. And then how much do I have? I should have 26. That should be enough to do at least that. Which whatever. I'll wait. We'll do the other runs here. NP5 Arcuid, David, Waver, and Oberon. MP5 Arcuid. So how are you charging David turn 1? You just putting like all of Waver stuff on him or something? Yeah, I see how the comp works. It's more of an order of operations that I'm wondering about. David would need a pinned 3 maxed. Oof. Santa Carna Oberon and Summer Scotty. Santa Carna Oberon and Summer Scotty. Are you using Summer Scotty herself on wave 3? Not to mention the arc would need to be 120. That's spicy. Yeah, I mean, it's like there's nothing like terrible about the comp that I am running right here. It just is not a 3 turn. That's really all it is. Santa Carna hit so hard here. Yep. Yeah, because again, anybody that's damage bonus, which Karna himself is damage bonus, which is part of the reason that I'm using him. But yeah, anybody that's damage bonus has a good chance. And what you're really looking for is like double synergy there, where some of this damage bonus and has a niche to exploit, which is why I'm using actual Karna for the final wave, because he does have the capability. I just can't leverage the amount of support that I need at the moment. We're still on an arc, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I have an Arcuid, but my Arcuid would only be, again, like, level 90. So, like, Arcuid NP5, I can pull off. Arcuid NP5 Grailed, I cannot. Maybe Buntori instead of Karna? I mean... You raise a valid point. It's not a damage bonus, but I can probably pull it off. Basically, all I'm doing here is I'm just letting Kama handle wave 1. She doesn't clean kill most of the time. Although this one she might. It really depends on luck of the draw with the NP roll. But it usually takes a full Brave Chain from her to have a chance of killing. Good news is, again, you almost always charm him, so he never really gets any hits. So, like, if this doesn't one turn, it's just like, oh well. Like, you just don't care, basically. Not just barely. Cat, would you consider the CQ easy? I haven't done the CQ yet, so I don't remember. Like, I'm sure I did it on JP, but I do not remember in the slightest. Well, that's spicy amount of health there, actually. I should still have it, but I didn't think about the fact that I was like, oh yeah, the card I've been using is damage bonus the whole time. Yeah, there you go. So that was at least 200k each. Okay, so then the big thing I need here. Usually it's safer to get rid of my own Koyanskaya because chat has a tendency to have nicer Koyanskayas than I do. All right, let's tag him and bag him. She's certainly not going to kill with the NP, but what this does make the carding a lot more consistent. That's not going to work. Yeah. I can get close, but not all the way. Yeah. Yeah, the problem is just needing the Oberon, basically. Granted, as long as she doesn't dodge, this is hella consistent. One thing I do get upset about, though, is the fact that the bunny does not have Invuln Pierce. I think that's really stupid, considering she's basically using Rongum and Ead. Oh, look, a drop! For a Lotto that's dead. Feels good, man. That's like my second drop, too. It's big sad at this point. I have to card the snakes, but Doman, Tyra, Double Summer Scotty can clear this. I don't know if you want a card, though. It's 3-turn. Yeah, it's fine. I'm okay with doing this, mostly because I don't have to change my comp, and I'm not going to be doing that many more runs anyways. Like, I'm only going to run until I'm actually done with my boxes. So I probably have, like, this run, and then, like, I don't know, maybe, like, 1 or 2 more. Doom, 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 doom. I got 3 drops from Carnimus that actually made me mad. Yeah. So, JP, I've made out like a bandit. I've been getting drops the entire time. I've been very surprised by that. I think it's largely due to the fact that we had the 90++ early. But even then, like, when we had, like, day 1, when we had, like, the level, like, 70 or 75 node, whatever it was, I got a drop, like, my second run of that node. So this Lotto has just been way better for me than any of the other prior ones. Oh, that was. No, it won't fuck up the card lock. Sorry, I'm so used to like sitting there doing like Summer BB and stuff, and I'm just sitting there thinking, I was like, wait, is that gonna screw me? But it doesn't. You can actually. So one thing I like about Bunny, you can plug suit because plug suit doesn't break card lock. If only Don Quixote had his buff already, he'd be perfect for this node. Yep. Problem is Raiko can dodge. Yeah, that's my biggest issue. That's why, like, you saw the Karna run that you guys got to see. I stalled for a turn on her, and the reason I stalled for a turn is because I knew that if I spent everything, got her low, she'd dodge, and I'm just like, yeah, let's not do that. Now I'm gonna be an idiot though, and I'm gonna do it here again because I can. Okay. Well, that's less than ideal. Especially because that card is not a guaranteed crit, but it's still better to take the Brave Chain. Yeah, what are the stats of your Mama Nobu? On NA, I only have NP1. If you remember, she was not kind to me. I would certainly like to get more, but it's just not going to happen. Not unless I luck into it somehow. There's the dodge. The good news is I counter your dodge with my own. The bad news is I don't have any way of getting through your crap. Let's go like that. Nothing else. I can end up with another NP here. Oh, you do not like Cayenne Chihuahua. Could also run something like Muramasa, Castoria, Oberon. Muramasa, Castoria, Oberon. What the fudge? Yeah, I mean, I feel like if I gave any buffs to my Kama, she would kill on wave 1. Like, part of the issue here. Oh my god. So, amongst all my 2 stars and all my 1 stars, there is only 1 bond level left. Until they're all bond 10. That is just disgusting. Anyways. Like I said, we're nat APing this. I'm okay with this comp, because like at least this comp I have Bunny's dodge, so I'm not really worried about like getting clapped back like I am with Karna. Karna sometimes gets immediately clapped and it's a problem. But yeah, I'll probably roll the black boxes after the event. Wrecking machine. Oh my god. This is the pain of like edging your box like this, chat. Like when you're so low, you're stuck like this. So yeah, so I only have 108. This is literally like I'm one run away from being done. I'll probably like before I go to bed tonight, I'll probably have another 40 AP. I'll go do the run and I will be complete. I had to grail early. Yeah, it's just like it's a first world problem, right? Like it's not a huge deal, but it is a deal. It is something that you're like, oh man, I really wish I didn't have to do that. Okay, got that out of there. And trying to think if there's anything else I need to do on NA while I'm here. Wow. How perfect. Literally one more run for the event. And that one run will get me the 10 servants that I need, which will complete my master missions as well. I could not have planned that any better. That's just funny. I do need to do the Holy Knights Boxing Fest at some point, but that's something I can do on my own time. I do not need to bore chat with that. Oh, wait, no. No, I need the CQ. I completely forgot about this. Okay. Let's see. It's Saber and Archer. So it's Karna. Wait, is Vitra for this? What the heck is the Archer? Paris? Oh yeah, he was in this, wasn't he? Oh right, yeah, and you're supposed to ignore Paris, aren't you? Oh, it's Dioscuri. Okay, there you go. But yeah, that's fine then. All right, so. Oh, what a nice CQ. You're restricted to only 3 units. Wow. Okay. I guess I will go myself. Let's see. Boom. I do agree with chat. Let's just squirt on that thing. It's not gonna matter what CEs I take. Let's filter to 5-star. Good lord. Chance-based evasion. Okay. Ain't dealing with that crap. Give me the OG. Position 3 can only use skills, no NP. Oh, that's fine then. I didn't do that on purpose, but I set it up in the optimal way anyways. Okay, I was gonna say, did it nerf the battle speed there? Because that was really slow. It is usually best if you just pull the double NP gain right off the bat in these sorts of scenarios. Hopefully she does enough damage here to kill, but you won't need much of a boost. That's old CQs for you. Yeah. You did like 1.1 million damage? What the fuck? Murder both at once? I was gonna say, I don't even think you need to kill Paris, do you? Like, it's news to me if you do. Probably best to go with that. You can kill Paris, but you don't need to. Yeah, that's what I thought I remembered about this fight, is that it's just literally ignore Paris, and you're better for it. Oh no, we didn't break his bar. Oh wait. Oh no, he's removed his MP seal. And made himself debuff immune and started to hit my archer. You know what? I don't even care. Because I don't need 300% to kill your ass. There we go. I don't even need this MP. That was fast. Yeah, these CQs, like, thankfully, like, usually your Christmas CQ is not too bad, unlike the like Fest CQs. Fest CQs are usually annoying. The like, at least in the sense that they're usually like a servant gauntlet. The Christmas CQs are usually very much just like fight 1 or 2 enemies, and so therefore you're usually done pretty fast. All right, well there we go. That cleared my weeklies anyways. Now we're extra good. So now I just need that. I need the final run of that, and then we're Gucci on that front. All right, back to JP, and then chat can finally figure out just how many of these boxes I've already farmed. Chat, how many boxes do you think I've farmed? No one from VIP is allowed to answer. I see. Chat has wild expectations of me. Wild expectations of me. 6969? Of course, you're right. You had me immediately. You knew the exact amount that I farmed without even having to calculate. Yeah. Oh, 420. That's also the correct amount. There you go. And there you go. That's how easy each of these runs is, chat. This run is like so easy that I can do it like with my phone upside down if I really want to. I'll let chat do the quick head math on that. Cat's just showing off. Yeah, so now's the part where I tell you that I did barely any today. I'm not even kidding. I did all of that this weekend. So I didn't stream this weekend, but what I did do is I just sat there in VIP and we degened so many shows. So we watched season 1 of Tulsa King. I watched, let's see, I caught up on a couple of the anime that I was behind on. Oh God, what the hell else did I watch? Yeah, we watched Secret Level. We watched all of Secret Level. Secret Level is actually really good. I highly recommend you guys watch it. So far, there's no Concord episode. I have no idea if there's even going to be one. So, yeah, we watched the first 2 seasons of, like, the Ultraman 3D anime. We did watch several episodes of Bleach. We are now in the, like, Soul Society arc where we are getting ready to rescue Rukia. If Cat had tried today, I would have been right. Damn, gonna hit me like that. I mean, let's be honest. We can try right here while we're on stream, chat. Because, like, so I have used up all of my bronze apples and most of my blue. But again, I'm over 300 boxes in, and I'm still not done with my blue apples. So, yeah, I'm definitely not going to need apples. Like, or sorry, I'm going to need apples, but like, I'm definitely never going to need quartz again to hit my 500 boxes. I am so far ahead on apples, it's like, they would have to start running 3 lottos a year to actually get me to run out of apples. Are you doing group watch anime with Bleach this time? We have not done it, like, publicly. That is something we can do if chat wants. Though we are pretty far into the Soul Society arc. Like, we just finished the Kenpachi fight. Which is great, by the way. Any community events coming? I'm going to say probably not this month, just because we've been basically busy. Like, if we do something community-wise, it'll be impromptu and organized by me at that point, I assume. Still about half to go. Yeah. You're getting to the good episodes. We're already in the good episodes, chat. What do you mean? This is the only Lotto that JP has seen this year, isn't it? It is. Hence the other reason I'm doing 500 boxes this Lotto. Because I actually, like, on so many levels, even my JP account doesn't need 500 boxes anymore. But, like, I'm gonna do it. Also, because I don't take anybody's actual support, I'm just taking an MLB CE. I'm in the all slot, just out there, just taking people. Are you skipping the filler? We haven't so far, but there's only been one filler episode. And it was a bad episode. We probably should have skipped that filler episode. The thing with Bleach is most of the time the fillers are not one-offs. Most of the time the fillers are entire arcs. And they're usually between the bigger arcs of the story. So for me personally, I actually like the filler arcs for Bleach. So we'll probably watch them. Are you on OP2 or 3? We are not on High and Mighty Color yet. So I think it's OP2? We are on D-Techno Life. From Udawald. It is OP2. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say I couldn't remember if that was 2 or 3. Bleach is great, but later seasons have too much filler. I don't know. I overall, chat, I didn't mind Bleach until like the end of the like Arankar arc, and like as you started heading into which is where some of the filler kind of cuts in, but as you start heading into like the Aizen arc and everything like that, like I don't know, like that's where to me the show started really going downhill. It really began to struggle from its power scaling. One is still the best. I gotta be honest. Like I've heard so many people, like everyone insists that 2 is the best one in VIP. I'm of the opinion that if you think Bleach has a best opening, you're just wrong. Because there's so many good openings for Bleach. It's the same thing as like saying, oh, this is the best like Naruto, or this is the best like One Piece opening. There's so many good ones, and they're each like different that it's difficult to say like this is the best. I do think there's one that like community consensus wise, people will generally tell you is the best for any given show. But I think it's like, yeah, just in general, there's so many good ones. It feels like you're doing it a disservice if you just insist that one of them is better than the others. You could probably say a top 5. Yeah, top 5 would probably be a lot better of like a catch-all. But one sticks with you. I love one. I mean, Ichirin no Hana is definitely a good one, and considering I don't speak a lick of Japanese, the fact that I can say that tells you a lot. And same thing with Dorodo Doke Rolling Star. There you go. I can't roll my R to get that out. Which one is the consensus best OP One Piece openings? I don't know. I'd have to poll chat for that. Chat would have to tell me what it thinks is the best one, because like One Piece's openings have like really weird history, because there's, for instance, an opening that everybody, I'm sure that's watched the show for long enough will remember, because that opening was stuck on the show for like 2 years because the people that were supposed to do the new opening ended up getting in a like legal battle with One Piece, and they ended up not being able to run that opening, and so they had to go back to the prior one. And there's also like several of them are variants of the like original one, so it's really difficult to say in One Piece. I mean, like We Are, I guess. Same. We Are is like the classic, but it's like, I don't know, right? Waiting for One Piece to end before I read the final arc. That's all good. I'm still on Whole Cake Island. I haven't watched anything of One Piece because One Piece right now is my like filler for anime in the week. Like that's what it like. There's like I think it's like Tuesday or Wednesdays when there's like not a lot that comes out. So I'm either like finishing watching stuff from like Monday. Because again, like I basically only watch anime on like the weekdays most of the time. I do watch it sometimes on the weekends, but I don't know, like this for whatever reason this season I didn't feel like loading up on a bunch of shows. So I have like 5 or 6 shows that I'm watching right now, and there's usually like 1 or 2 days during the week that I have nothing to watch. So I fill those days with One Piece. Okay, Kylan kind of slaps. Yeah. Watching anime during Lotto is peak. I actually prefer watching like Western shows during a Lotto. And the reason why is because I don't have to be looking at the screen to tell what they're saying, right? Like at least, and don't get me wrong, you guys know I can basically play without looking at the screen. But it's always easier if I don't have that restriction. Also because then I can like get up and leave the computer or the TV, right? Like if I'm watching something and still be able to hear it, right? Whereas like when it's in Japanese, a low roll, that's rare. In Japanese, like in a weird way, I think I have like osmosis enough words of Japanese that I can usually tell from tone and context of where the show was right before I left what's probably getting said. But I don't like leaving that to chance a lot. Yamate, yes. Well, like, for instance, a lot of the times I'll be sitting there and, like, even I'll catch, like, quote-unquote mistranslations. Like, what was that? I was asking Trubs about something that got said the other day, and I was like, wait, he didn't say that. He said hebi, which means snake, and he's like, yeah. So it's, like, it's interesting to tell when it's, like, I assume it's, like, that's probably not a mistranslation. They probably just changed it into something that's more, like accurate for like it's like a localization thing, right? But there's definitely some times where I'm like, no, they totally didn't do it. Like there was an Ultraman one where they kept saying like the character's name when the character was actually saying senpai, and I was like, wait, why are you putting that in there instead of just saying like, because like if you put senpai in, most people nowadays that watch anime know what senpai means. Like, it's such a like a cultural word at this point for anime. And if you don't, I mean, again, that's where like translators notes were supposed to come from. But like, so it's one of those weird things where it's like, oh, when you actually read the translation on screen, it says the character's name, but you actually hear them instead saying an honorific. Sir, ma'am. Yeah, I feel like that would be like, or again, like senior, right? Like that's senior, junior for senpai, kohai, right? Like, but yeah, it'd be one of those things where it's like that would be a better translation, but I assume they do it just to avoid any sort of confusion as to who's getting referred to. Oppa? Well, doesn't oppa mean like mother or something? I don't know. That's not even Japanese, is it? I mean, maybe it's Japanese, but Big Bro is Aniki. Oh, Korean. Okay, I gotcha. It's Korean. Okay, there you go. Yeah. But see, there you go. Like I know enough Japanese words at this point. Being able to pick them up in a sentence is difficult. Thankfully, with like anime, because I get familiar with the VAs enough, I kind of can. It's not like if I were to go up to some random like, okay, so this isn't me being racist. This is me living in Florida, chat. If I were to go up to like a random like, let's say like a Mexican on the street or something, right? And they do live around here. That's definitely something that could happen to me. I would have a very hard time understanding what they said, even though I've taken some amount of Spanish. Why? They're just very quick speakers a lot of the time. And they're going to just kind of spitball with me, and I'm going to be like, right? Like, please slow down. Say that really slow for me because I'm stupid and I can't speak your language. Versus like, yeah, at least in anime, I've gotten enough of an ear for it that I can pick it out. But I could not hold a conversation in Japanese. And if you tried to come up to me and talk to me in Japanese, I would probably not know anything. The only reason I can discern some of it is because I have the context already. And that comes from literally having subtitles, so. Clipped, shipped, and canceled, people leave. Yes, there you go. See? No, lemon pledge. People blast through Spanish words. Yeah, I like I said, I don't even remember half the Spanish I took, and even then, like, I would be terrible at actually being able to discern what is getting said. Like if you type it in chat, I could take a stab, but if you were to like say it to me, I could not, because I haven't heard people speaking Spanish enough. Me with French speakers, they talk too quickly. I'm sure people think that about English as well. Like, I'm sure there's times where, like, you know, if you were trying to listen to me, that I'm not speaking slow enough for some people. But I don't know. It just is what it is, right? I also think it's something where, like, if you listen to somebody in that language more and more and more and more and more, you begin to pick up more and more and more and more and more what they're saying, or at least kind of like how they're acting. How fast you speak Spanish depends on the country they're from, because Spanish is slower than Mexican Spanish. Yeah, which is really interesting. I have heard that before, and I assume it's just like, I don't know, maybe like a politeness / like thing that's kind of like gone on over time. It usually feels faster if you're unfamiliar with the language. Absolutely. Absolutely. Of course, someone song requested it. English straight up morphs into another language based off accent. See, you say that, I would instead say English straight up morphs into another language based entirely off of the fact that we have stolen a ton of words from other languages. Like, there's just so many words that we use where, like, English is like the Microsoft of languages. We're like, that's a good idea. We don't have a specific word exactly for that feeling or thing. It's ours now. Congratulations. It is now English. Touche. Exactly. Like, touche is French, right? So, like, the fact that we use touche in English speaking normally just goes ahead and tells you that, yeah, we have taken that word in effect. English is like 45% French. Yeah, it's basically like Germanic mixed with, like, you know, actual like Britain, and then straight up like, yeah, no, hey, we got conquered by the French, so the French injected their language into ours. Imagine trying to translate patoles into traditional American English. Oh wait, they did? Of course they did. 1066 be that year to blame. Yep, Hastings. Also, you're welcome, chat, because it was one of my ancestors. Which, ironically enough, is not where the French in me comes from. Like, I'm sure some French comes from me in that regard, but I do have other French in me. Current English is an evolution of Anglo-Saxon English. Yep. Did you give up on the 90++ on JP? Well, I'm at max bonus. And yes, because the 90++, I just didn't like doing the double NP. It was way slower. Not patos, you nerd. What the heck? You said patos. It's not my fault you spelled it that way. There's different Englishes, like Old English, British English, and Modern English. See, I always just hear it as American English and the Queen's English or the King's English.
Oh, that's how you spell it, you nerd.
Stop spelling it wrong.
What do you mean?
He knows what I mean. Old English words were spelled way more phonetically. Well, yeah. So, like, for instance, like armor, how we spell it now, right? Versus armor, how we spelled it before, where we just had a U, right? Like, same thing with color. There was also a U in that. A lot of words had like E's at the end of them that don't now. In fact, I believe the used to not start with a T. I think it was like, what was it? Was it like an R or something like that? Like, basically, when they started doing signs, they didn't have like the correct like I think they had to use a T because they didn't have the correct one, and it caught on and it became like the instead. I forget the story behind that one, but I know that one is a thing. Night was night in Old English. Yep. Which is really funny because you're right? Like where it was more phonetic. You can go back and you can read Old English and it will hurt your fucking brain, but you can read it. You can absolutely read it. You're like, but it does actually make sense the more you read it. And you get, it's a acquired skill. You get faster at it the more you read it. Like, I guarantee you, if I were to go read some Old English right now, I'd be shit at it. But I used to be decent at it. Because we're used to modern English. Yep. Which is really cool, I want to say, though. The fact that, like, our language has morphed as much as it has. But we at least, like, we're not so far that we can't go back and still read a bunch of it. Ked, where's your bathroom? Well, where's the bathroom? Not my bathroom. I have no idea. I guess in your chair. The C was a K. Yeah, C is a really interesting word because C is K in a lot of languages. And then, like, in some languages, C is, like, basically S. And in other languages, it's just a soft sound. Where's the water closet? Listen, that, I know exactly where the water closets are. I have been to Italy, and they exist there. They also exist in some of the other European locations. Where's the loo? Well, that's in France, because it's where we beat Napoleon. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It wasn't in France, was it? Where was Waterloo? Was it like Belgium or something? I don't remember. Oh, it's England. No. Belgium. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, I thought it was like Belgium or the Netherlands or something in there. I tried reading from a book from the 16th century, and the words randomly had the S sound written as an F, and it was a nightmare. Yup. Depending on certain languages, you have different consonants, and it's really, 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 really weird. Cool. Thank you for the 27. Appreciate it, my man. How you doing today? Sounds about right, yes. It's in Canada. All right, chat. Can we please resolve this debate? Are Canadians from Canada or does Canada How's Canadians? You can't have it both ways. You either live in Canada or you're Canadians. Take your pick. No, that makes no sense. Cadians, you're not from 40K. There's only meese up here. Oh, that made me laugh way more than it should have. Oh my god. But yeah, that's something I've also noticed. Granted, I'm a hypocrite because I am Floridian and I do not live in Floridia. Therefore, I should either be a Floridan who lives in Florida or a Floridian who lives in Floridia. Apparently it's French. Well, yeah, because isn't it supposed to be like ENS? I know that's how the hockey team spells it, which I assume is the French spelling. Canadian, yes. Teaching me new stuff. Mm-hmm. At least my state is consistent. Which state is that? Cat is Florida man? Right. Therefore, I need to be Floridan. Floridianese it is then? Well, it's really funny because you have like Genoa, and the people that live there are the Genoese. Canadian is for female. It's Canadian, yeah. Which both sounds the exact same. I just want to say. Maybe that's one of those, like, the way it's said is basically gender neutral, but if it's written, it has to have a distinguishment. So does Cad do the alligator skin? I mean, I could probably get some. Thank you, Latin, for that. Yeah. Hope all is well. All is well. Now you're Floridian living in Floridia? See, I can't be Floridian living in Florida. Like, I'm willing to admit my own faults, chat, if the Canadians will admit theirs. If you hit 500 boxes, you just keep going, right? No, if I hit 500 boxes, I'm done. It's just the way I am. Like I'll nat AP from that point, but I will basically just be done if I hit my 500. The Canadians are assholes? Wow, hold on. There's probably some Canadians here. How do you know they're assholes? I mean, I'm sure most of them have assholes. Or just pull a Netherlands and use a different word like Dutch? What do you mean? They're Nederlanders. All they did was technically change the original spelling, but that's just because they pronounce it their correct way and we spell it weird. Because we're English. Newfoundlanders? You mean Newfies? Aren't Canadians the nicest people? Don't you know, eh? Probably. I mean, I don't know. I'd say I'm like 50-50 on nice Canadians. Because, like, I've definitely met some good ones. But, chat, Geoff Keighley, who does the Game Awards, is Canadian. Also, Justin Bieber. Also, Chad Kroger from Nickelback. Just saying. We're sorry for that. It's okay. America has our share of assholes too, right? Like, we can't really look down on Canada. Come on. Fingers. No. There. That's mostly all countries, good ones, bad ones. Yep. Let's trade Ted Cruz? No. Why would we trade the Zodiac Killer? He's ours. Yeah, but who even cares about those examples? I know. I'm just saying. Like you're definitely not wrong. There's good and bad examples in every country. I'm waiting for Summer LB6 part with Summer Aurora, Coral Habitrot, and Murian. Sure, yeah. I assume you meant part 2. Yeah, I don't need that. We got both Ryan Gosling and Ryan Reynolds, so... Okay, but hold on. Which Ryan Reynolds? Like Deadpool Ryan Reynolds or Green Lantern Ryan Reynolds? I'm just saying. There's two sides. Even it like just within him, there are two sides to that coin. Ryan Reynolds? Oh, that guy's an asshole. Give them both away. Free Guy Ryan Reynolds? I've never seen Free Guy. Is it good? Neither Mint Mobile Ryan Reynolds? No! That's just shill Ryan Reynolds. Free Guy's funny as fuck? I'll have to see if I like, because basically I feel like when it came out it had like mixed reviews, but I guess if I like, again, it's not like I don't need something to watch while I'm like lotto farming on my own, so I could probably find the time to fit it in at some point. But yeah, we're definitely ahead. I think there's like 7 days left in the JP event right now, and I am ahead of schedule. So this is exactly where I want to be. I don't want to go to like the wire and like be like, oh crap, am I going to make my 500 boxes in time? I knew it was going to cost me the weekend, but I just said, screw it. I'm just going to go ahead and farm as hard as I can. What's up next for NA? I mean, it's LB7, but we don't have LB7 until Christmas. So you guys literally have like an entire week here. Which I probably need to do some stuff. Oh yeah, we got to go over Yang's buff. Oh look, Avalon sent me Yang stuff. Without me asking. Huh. Weird. Okay, let's see. Wonder why he did that. Yeah, I wonder too. Really weird. Why would he do that? Okay. Let's see. So, like, Yang's another interesting one. Hold on, let me make sure my farming is still going here. So, again, Yang has been in a weird spot. Like, when she first came out, she was kind of like poorly received at first. When she first came out, everyone was like, oh my god, she's hot, I really like her, this is a really awesome like New Year's unit. Then people started to look at the numbers and people were like, this with her kit, this just doesn't really work. So a lot of people almost like, I saw people with like buyer's remorse like pretty quickly, and I was like, well, she's not that bad. But like, basically I think a lot of it had to do with the initial inception of her kit. Again, the hey, it's only going to work on males with a taunt. Really messed with people. They upped the crit stars. They gave her the ability to taunt anybody, not just males. Because taunting only males, again, like, this is really, really bad. Because not only are there female enemies out there, there are just non-gender units out there. So, like, certain monsters just don't have a gender. They're not ascribed to male or female. So, like, male, it doesn't even work on half the enemies in the game. It's literally like a third, probably even less, of the enemies in the game. So, like, that is really kind of one of the big problems whenever you see something that's gender locked like that. And so making it more available just made this an actual reliable skill, as opposed to, like, again, when it was just male, it was like, oh, it's only going to work against certain enemies, which I guess you could use to your advantage, but it was also kind of an annoyance. The second skill here, again, they haven't really touched. I would really like to see them do this one, in all honesty. And Yang is somebody that has not had her NP interlude yet. I'm sure a lot of people were hoping for her to get that. In that regard, I do kind of wish she got an NP interlude as opposed to this buff. But I, honest to God, am going to tell you that this is practically better than a NP interlude in certain ways. So you guys can see, originally this skill, it was her Living Flame skill, and it was 3 attacks, 3 turns. It inflicted defense down whenever she got hit, basically for those 3 turns, but only for the 3 times. And then it inflicted burn to the enemy whenever she took an attack while increasing her own defense. Fairly standard setup skill. This skill worked quite well if you had the taunt, quite terribly if you didn't. You were relying on RNG and that sort of stuff. And still, to this degree, even this skill upgrade does not necessarily fix that aspect, because again, she's going to scale super effective damage based off of burn. So you really want the enemy to be burning, and the only way to absolutely secure that is to basically have her command codes, slap burn command codes on them, and pre-card her NP. That is your safest route to being able to do that, or getting somebody else that actually has burn in their kit in order to, again, like, apply it to the enemy before. So they end up coming in and they just say, okay, now the buff is 3 turns. Well, you're like, well, it was 3 turns before. It was 3 attacks 3 turns before. So they've gotten rid of the attack limitation, which is definitely nice, especially, again, if you're using that taunt. It's still going to do the whole normal inflict defense down. It's still going to inflict burn to the enemies. And it's still going to increase her own defense. However, now on top of that, they've increased her own arts performance for 3 turns by 30%. This is great. This is just a nice steroid. Again, it's going to help her in P gain. And it's just something that she really kind of needed, was an actual consistent steroid for her kit. Because nowhere else really in her kit did she have it. She had defense downs and things that were, again, basically debuffs, but if the enemy was debuff immune or in some way, shape, or form, you just couldn't get burn on them or any of the defenses on them. You were just up shit's creek with Yang. Now, that's still going to be the case if you can't get burn on the enemy, and I'm going to tell you not to take Yang in those sorts of scenarios. But the defense down definitely hurt, especially if it would whiff. So having the 30% up here is definitely going to help offset that sort of thing. It's going to make her more consistent. It's going to make that performance a lot better. On top of that, she gets 30% gauge, which she did definitely need. Now, this is interesting because now Yang has charge on all 3 of her skills. She has charge per turn for 3 turns on her first skill. She has basically absorption on her second skill from the enemies. And then she also now has just a straight up charge. The cool part about this is this adds actual, like, controllable charge to things, as opposed to the second skill where you had to go like, hey, I'm kind of beholden to the number of enemies that I'm facing. You can see it's 20%, but again, it was per enemy basically that she was up against. So this was sort of the issue that you had. The skill could be very strong or very weak depending on the amount of enemies being faced. What was always weird and disjointed about the skill that I never liked was Yang's a single target challenge oriented unit, and you have a skill that literally scales per number of enemies base 20, and you're like, hold on though, like the vast majority of the times you're going to be taking her into a single target damage environment, which means like at most probably 2 enemies in those sorts of scenarios. Yeah, you do have scenarios where you can take her up against 3 and it's just like you UMPing them down one by one, but again, that's not really where you want to use her the majority of the time. In those circumstances, you would have been better to take an AoE probably instead. So again, I always found this skill to have a very weird design, which when paired with the initial implementation of her first skill is one of the reasons that I felt like Yang had a very poor kit early on. Thankfully, due to the upgrade to this skill, and at least now the upgrade to the third skill, we're in a lot better spot. But really, the upgrade to the first skill is what helped tip the scales back in Yang's favor. Even then, her damage was still a little bit lackluster compared to some of her other contemporaries. And again, there has been a little bit of an arms race in the foreigner class. But yeah, this is just absolutely going to help. It's going to be great because, again, it's 30%. It's going to pair well with a mana loading and stuff like that. And on top of that, remember, she's got the charge return. She's got the ability to soak or slash absorb charge from the enemies. So it's definitely a new thing for her to have an actual consistent charge. So taking a look again, this is basically how Yang looked with her old buffs. You guys can see nothing too like crazy here, but certainly there are other foreigners out there that can do this and even outpace her. Particularly Double X for a long time had been a pain in Yang's side in that regard, and certainly other units out there like say Abby who can basically just sit there and buff strip. So Yang had this really like weird niche of, hey, I'm kind of the looper, but I'm very card like performance beholden. She does have a good deck for that at least, but this was definitely one of her issues is like, hey, I'm just not pumping the damage to really be worth taking a lot of the time unless you can land these burns. And if you could land the burn, then she definitely was a lot better. So as command codes start coming into the game, as her first skill gets fixed, things start to improve for Yang. And she ends up now being able to more consistently apply burn. But now with this buff, we again have 30% more arts up coming out of nowhere here. So you can see it's not a huge jump, but realistically it can be felt even in the normal numbers there at the higher NP levels. And basically even at the low NP levels, you're still looking at a statistically significant difference. Because again, these are normal neutral numbers under her own power, no external buffs. So this is just going to get magnified. Any difference that you see between these two sets of numbers is going to get bigger as you get more buffs in play. Now, taking a look, this is basically Yang's charge setups as well. And certainly a lot of interesting changes here, as now you guys can see before, if you really wanted to 3-turn with her, you basically needed a K-scope. Now you can kind of consistently do it from a 50% seat. This is going to allow her access to things like Ocean Flyer a lot better. And again, this is just looking at it from a 3-turn perspective. Most of the time with Yang, you're not going to be super concerned about that. Or you may be counting on / relying on the cards to kind of get you done. So looping Yang with something like Black Grail, still absolutely possible. Just keep in mind, yeah, there's going to be some amount of RNG and stuff implied by that. But this is definitely something that she can do. And again, I do think that she is a very capable unit. So I'm happy to see her get this upgrade. It's not, again, the NP interlude that we are maybe looking for, but it's certainly a good thing to tide her over in the meantime, as it's just going to make her more usable and better performing. Her skill 2 charge could be 0% unlike other drains. Yeah, that's true too. I take fixing the issue of reusability a bit more over damage. Yep, I agree with that. I think like we can look at some units and sometimes we go like, man, I really wish they had an NP upgrade, but then they get a skill upgrade instead. And there's a tendency for people to be disappointed and be like, what the heck? Usually how I evaluate the units is I like to look at them from a standpoint of what does this unit need? Now, most people will tell you damage. Not just because it's Yang, but just in general. Most people will tell you damage in any of those scenarios. Why? Because that's really all people pay attention to. I usually look at where a unit is having issues performance-wise in all aspects of their performance. Okay? So, like, the issue with, again, Yang early on was that this first skill did not function to its intended purpose. It was shoddy at best when you had the restriction to mail, and it made it very difficult to use efficiently for the taunt aspect of it. Instead, everyone just looked at this as charge per turn or occasionally a hard survival if she needed. Nobody really used it for the taunt when she first came out because of how unreliable it was. So the upgrade to this fixed that issue. That was addressing a need that the unit had. Okay? So it's same thing here. They basically wombo comboed the concerns over her damage output, her refund, and her charge all in one with this just, couple simple tweaks to this one skill. So I like it. I think it's a good upgrade. Like I said, again, could you have gotten more damage out of an NP upgrade? Absolutely. But now she can wait longer for it. She doesn't need it as desperately as this is going to appease basically people that actually do use her. And I've talked about this before because I've had people come in basically and tell me like, oh, like the buff for this unit was garbage. And I've had people say this about like some of my favorite units, like the saber faces and stuff. And usually what I have to tell people is I'm like, I'm sorry, but you don't know what you're talking about because you're not using the unit. If you use the unit, normally these issues become apparent. You just kind of know, okay, hey, this is the issue. I've tried taking this unit into these CQ-like situations. They're not performing how they should. Or again, you notice how the comp falls apart at certain key moments where you're just like, oh man, if I just had this, it would have worked, but I didn't have this. Man, I really wish this unit had this. That's usually where you can tell where a unit's weakness is. It's in those in-between moments, in those, again, sort of times where the strain is put on them and they fail to perform. Anybody can pump damage. The game has the insane scalability that it does have, but usually getting a unit to perform fluidly and flawlessly is where units will have struggles. I've noticed Yang so much that I've had the charge issue a lot of times. Yep, I've used Yang a ton myself. So it's like, it's one of those deals where it was obvious to me in the same way that like she was just a very RNG unit. If everything went your way, it worked fine. If everything went your way. Most of the time it was not going to go your way. And that was kind of the issue that you had with her. So yeah, I think this really helps address that sort of thing. And that's, like, again, like I can give you guys an example of where it's happened to me. Basically, I've had people that have come up to me and told me that Lartoria's upgrade was trash. And I was like, I mean, I wish she had an NP interlude too. In fact, I still hope she gets one. But that doesn't make her upgrade bad. I'm sitting here looking at it. I'm like, what the hell do you want? She literally just got given 2 power mods that are very wide, 50% each, and they can double stack quite frequently. And I'm like, that's not a bad buff. And in fact, that's going to make her even stronger when she gets the NP interlude. So, like I said, people have a tendency to like jump out and overreact to these sorts of things. And I'm not saying anyone really did here with Yang, at least that I saw, but just that like, yeah, it's an interesting thing to say nonetheless, that like sometimes getting the skill buff is better than getting the NP interlude, especially if it addresses a major flaw in the unit's kit. I'm trying to think, because there was another unit that was a great example of this that it happened to recently, and I'm trying to remember who it was. Somebody that got a skill upgrade instead of an NP upgrade, and everyone was screaming about it. And I was like, eh. If things go your way is not a plan, it's a gamble. Absolutely. She's good, but they just need to fix the skill with the delayed buff, and they couldn't do that for some reason. Oh, you're talking about Bunny? Yeah. Yeah, Bunny has several issues. There is, and I've said it before, like people often get Bunny's kit wrong, just to quickly talk about that, right? Because I can't just type in Bunny. Oh, by the way, oh god, wait, is this like, oh, it's so weird. My fandom is has a different search button on my version at work, and I'm wondering if it's because like I have cookies on this page now. But basically, fandom's updated their search parameters. There you go. So again, yeah, the delayed buff here is an issue, right? But if you've used Bunny and you've used her in actual like compositions, you're gonna know that you can plan around the delayed buff. A delayed buff in and of itself is not a problem. This skill definitely had issues. That's why it got an upgrade. I like this upgrade. I think it's a good upgrade. This skill definitely had issues. I'm surprised this skill got the upgrade. This was one where, again, I've said, like, this technically does not address the issue with Bunny. It does help her damage out. And I think a lot of people were pointing out her damage needs love. And it does. But there was a really fucking easy way to upgrade her damage, and it was right here. That being said, what Bunny's fundamental issue is, if you use her in a 3-turn, we'll talk about. Let's start there. So let's say in a 3-turn. The issue in a 3-turn is, what are you going to use her in? Well, it's going to be a Koyan Sky comp. Okay? When would you like to receive this delayed buff then? Because I can tell you when you're going to receive it. You're going to receive it in a 3-turn on turns 2 and 4. Oh, wait, it's a 3-turn, so you never receive the second iteration of it. That's the issue with the delayed buff. It's not that you can't plan around this, because again, if you're in like a challenge scenario, that's nothing. You can easily adjust. In a 3-turn farming scenario, though, that fucking sucks. And there is no way you can get this to work. In fact, the Koyanskaya system specifically seems to hate any variant of Lartoria. I've pointed this out before, and it is kind of annoying to me. I'm sure it's not like, oh, they've singled out Lartoria. It's just Lartoria and Buntoria's designs do not work well in that system, just due to the way that they kind of are. So the issue at play here with this is, and I had a lot of people ask me about this, hey, Cad, what about the 5th append? Doesn't this help? Does it help, chat? Let's focus on this skill, I'll say. Does the 5th append help the skill? I don't know. I feel like a lot of people would probably actually say that. You gave a truthful answer. So let's kind of examine that, right? This is a 6-turn cooldown skill. Well, normally in a Koyan Sky setup, 6 turns means turns 1 and 3, or when you can pop, right? So now it's a 5-turn skill. What does this mean? Well, this means that you can pop it on turns 1 and 2, or turns 2 and 3. Basically, you can pop it back-to-back turns if you so choose. Does this help us, chat? No. Here's why. So, let's pop it on turns 1 and 2, shall we? Why? Because turns 2 and 3 are right out. Turns 2 and 3 get you your buff on the 3rd turn and the 4th turn. Turns 1 and 2 technically would be ideal. You would get it on turns 2 and turns 3. That's exactly what you want, right? Basically, your 2 biggest turns. So, how are we going to make the charge work? Break it down. So, if we know that we're popping her 40% charge on turns 1 and 2, well, we can start out with an append, and we know that she will refund 20 off the back of her NP, as is a requirement for her, and she'll refund another 20 on turn 3. Okay. So how do we do this? What's the solving point, chat? Well, ideally, you start from 0. So that would mean you would need 40 more on turn 1, 40 more on turn 2, and 80 on turn 3. Well, there's the kicker, right? If you did double Koyanskaya, well, okay. You'd do 50 in the turn 1, 50 in turn 2, and then you do Oberon in turn 3, all 70. You're short 10. You can't complete the third NP. Okay, so that means we start out with 50% charge. Because that's your next best outcome. This is a starting 50% C. Technically, we don't need 20 here, so we'd only need the unlocked append instead of maxed out, but we're leaving it as 20 just for the sake of it. Okay, so we do that. Guess what, chat? Well, now we do Koyanskaya. But one Koyanskaya is not enough to get the cooldown reduction to pop this skill again in turn 2. You need both. Which means you have to pop both right here. Which means you just wasted 60% charge. And if you do that, congratulations, you're back to the same problem you had before. There is no efficient way to solve this. If only they gave her the NP refund, she has it. She has the NP refund. That's your issue right here. So it's really fucky. In theory, let me see if I can do it on turns 2 and 3. I don't know if I've actually humored that idea. So basically, on turns 2 and 3, we already know we're refunding 20 each turn. So this would be 40 here and 40 here. It doesn't work. I can already tell you, chat. So, for instance, the easy breakdown is 50 here, 50 here, and I guess like 50 turn 1, right? Which is hilarious because this 50 turn 1, if you somehow made it Oberon, that and the 20 append, you'd still be 10 short now on the front end from being able to start at 0. So that's equally hilarious right there. But not even getting into any of that, we'll just assume we're starting with a 50% C, right? So what do? Do you use Oberon turn 1? Because, like, I guess you can do that. This shits on turn 1 because now you can only do one Koyanskaya. And the interesting part about this is, if you do that, that fucks your 20% refund, which now makes you not have enough right there, unless you throw in Oberon's 20% on turn 2. Which means you can't get away with popping at turn 1, which means your turn 1 is anemic. It's literally a single Koyanskaya's buff. And Bunny's own buff. She might be able to do it. She might not, depending on what the node is. And I can tell you, like, yeah, I've got a strong Bunny. Odds are mine might be able to handle it. You're sitting out there with like an NP1 or NP2 Bunny? Oh, man. You better hope that's like Berserkers or something. Over on turn 1 with Drain? Yep. Because here's your other issue. It can't be Koyanskaya turn 1, chat. Why? Because you haven't popped the charge skill. So if you do that, you're not getting back to it. So it has to be over on turn 1. It's doable. It's just shit. Your turn 1's kind of crap. Your turn 2 at least will, like, get better as you will be able to rotate one of the Koyanskayas and bring in the other. So by turn 2's NP, you won't be at full capacity, but you'll be just off of it. You'll be at as strong as you should be at turn 2 anyways. Then turn 3, you now get the proc, basically making your turn 3 stronger and Oberon's third skill. So that doing it on turns 2 and 3 is doable. This will allow you to secure finally the Royal Bunny buff for turn 3, but man, are you sacrificing it on the front end. Like, turn 3 finally can gain the benefit due to the 5th append, but turn 1 absolutely gets thrown in the shitter because of it. And that's the only way it works. So append 2 plus 20%. You don't need append 2 in this scenario. Because you're starting out, again, to reiterate, you're starting out with a 50% C. You're doing Oberon's 50% charge with a single, so it's like your party makeup here, chat, is going to be, it's going to be Oberon, Bunny, Koyanskaya in the back end. Okay. And you're rotating through for the Koyanskayas. So essentially, it's like, yeah, you start out with a 50%. You do 50% from Oberon. Oberon steals the refund from turn 2. So you have 40% right there from Bunny. You have Oberon's own 20%. You have a singular Koyanskaya. Turn 3 finally now, you have 20% from refund. You have the other Koyanskaya, and then you have the 40% from Bunny getting that back. That's how that charge works. But it's still like, it does not help her get it efficiently. Because this skill is such an ass skill. Like, if they really wanted to do it, how I want them to adjust this skill, I really want them to take the melt approach. If you know, you know. So melt virus used to be Garbo. Basically reduced all allies NP damage for 1 turn. Then essentially, reduced all enemies NP damage for 1 turn. Reduced the party's NP damage by 50% except for herself for 1 turn. And then had a chance to grant a delayed buff for 1 turn that gave her 20% up after 1 turn. So essentially, you'd pop the skill, it would have a delayed NP up, but the turn before, everybody else got NP down. This was so astronomically bad. It made it very difficult to use, because if you were trying to like handle a wave before you needed melt to NP, you were just screwing yourself. You had to like have a cleanse or something in the party. So it's really nasty in that regard. But what they upgraded it to is they just said, nah, fuck it. That's a stupid idea. Guess what? Yeah, you still get the party NP damage down for 1 turn, but her own NP damage goes up for 2 turns. Therefore, you just don't pop this until the turn you need it. Simple. So what I'd like to see them do is I'd like to see them just turn this to 2 turns. Is what it is. Like, there you go. We've already established you can't do it on turns 1 and 2 anyways. So, like, the only way we're getting a double stack of this is basically if we manipulate things to be on turns 2 and 3, which still has the problem of, as we already mentioned, turn 1 just being utter garbage if you do that. Okay, quick question. What happened to your VTuber model? Is it the new computer giving you trouble to set up? No, I can do it. New computers, the gaming computers. It's not even the same one. I don't know. I'm just giving it a rest for right now. %60 Cs are just an anything for the most part. At the end of the day, it's not like the end of the world, right? But yeah, look, chat. I'm not going to complain if they want to make this 50%. It's just like, you can deal with this aspect. Here's the thing, though. Chat, would making it 50% solve any of those issues? This is something you have to think long and hard about. Not really. Yeah, it really doesn't. It really solves none of the issues. The only issue it solves is like, yeah, I guess technically, if you want to start with a 50% C, you no longer require mana loading, right? So like that would be something. But yeah, no. What I would like to see them do, I'd really like to see them give her an NP interlude. Give it invuln pierce. Shift this to the overcharge. Make it scale. And give her a standard upgrade. That'd be great. Absolutely be great. The 10% she's short on. Nope, that wouldn't solve it. Because the 10%'s coming on the final turn. Where you're trying to leverage Oberon. And the 20% that you did have is from her her overcharge. Sorry, not from her overcharge. It's from the static on her NP. So like, this would solve that, right? Like, if you could potentially get it to where it scales up, yeah, that'd be a thing. That'd be a thing. You could go from like 20 to 30% right here, right? You had the 2 ranks, and then boom, you can get it on the right turn. There you go. She gets a power mod. She really doesn't need it. If she can get even that changed, that probably lets her touch Black Grail. So, because like I could already flat out tell you, like, especially with the change that that you guys were talking about, she gets the 50%. That lets her work with Koyami. And Koyami, that's a W. What am I doing there? It's now an M with an extra thing there. Koyami's got that overcharge buff. So the overcharge, if she had scaling NP charge, would be really nice. Cat House JP Lotto treating you? Good. We're still farming away in the background. I don't see Bunny getting an interlude. I don't either, but she really needs it. Chat, let's play a game. Can you name me a ruler that does less damage than Bunny? There is a correct answer to this, by the way. Okay, of people that deal damage, let's say, not John, right? Like, Cats, yes, Cats is one. Summer Scotty, incorrect. Sherlock, no, come on. Papa John, ooh, that's a good question. It's been a hot second since I've seen Johannes damage. So that one may be right. I actually don't know. Let me check Johanna's numbers again. Yeah, I think probably raw, she's probably more, but in an actual comp, she's probably less. If I had to guess. Melu cap, yeah. Johanna should have had a support MP. Said it day one. Still true now. Okay with it. I don't have issues with her having damage dealing MP. In fact, I'm gonna flat out tell you guys, like, why am I not doing the 90++? Because I had to double MP. Why did I have to double MP? Because I couldn't make my unit strong enough. Why couldn't I make my unit strong enough? Because the only way to make my unit strong enough was using somebody else's support MP. So you don't want it tied to an MP if possible. Because nobody wants to have to MP a second time. But that's at least farming, right? Like in challenge content, yeah, it's absolutely okay. Johanna does slightly more and has niches. There you go. That's mainly due to Black Grail access. Damn, wild, right? Wild what Black Grail does. For equal Cs, Bunny will do more. Okay. Saw people running the 90 plus in like 30 seconds. Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. But yeah, that's why I said, like, there are not a lot of rulers that do less damage than Bunny. Bunny absolutely needs a pick-me-up, especially with somebody like Seal in the game. And especially doubly so now that we have, what's his dicks? God, why can I not remember the welfare moon cancer's name ever all of a sudden? This is beginning to bug me. It's like, it literally erases itself from my name. Hakuno, thank you, God. Like, I've even played games with Hakuno in it. I don't know why I can't remember Hakuno's name every time I try to recover that. But yeah, like for real, that's the issue. Like, her niche, her primary niche has been given away twice in rapid succession. She kind of needs something. But why comparing rulers with moon cancers? Because one of the dominant reasons you would use Bunny, if not for her like farming usage, would be for that niche. So that's primarily the only time you're going to take her, since her farming damage in most other scenarios is bad. Right? Like, you're just going to take somebody else instead. So since they have given away that niche and she's no longer the hot, sexy unit that you want to take for that, because she's not, you know, brand spanking new. Yeah, they kind of need to give her something else. We need more card lockers. Yeah, probably. So it's like, it's not necessarily that I'm aware I'm comparing an apple to an orange at that point. However, I again say that units usually have a use, and that use is like why you're going to take them. For instance, when looking up what would be a fast composition for this node, I quite literally looked at units that had anti-chaotic damage and anti-earth damage. Anybody that could take out Creamhild relatively easy. That was a niche. Since it's a berserker, I didn't care who it was. They just had to have certain parameters. 1, they needed to be female. 2, they needed to be buster. Hilariously, my waifu is that unit. Bunyan comp, though? You could absolutely run Bunyan in this. The whole reason I'm going with Liz, because Liz is just a single press. I just took Draco and Mamareko. For what? For this? Do you not have an MP5 Arturia on JP? She can easily clear the 90++. I do. She does not. Not without card luck. Hello, Fox. How's it going? Yeah, I suppose it depends on which Arturia you're talking about. I used cranking with my NP2 Arturia and she gets consistent clears. Well, there's your issue. So you have a level 100 best in slot 50% buster CE versus my non-leveled Lotto CE. There's a little bit of firepower difference there. Yeah, it's also 5 slot. Chad, I can 5 slot the node, I can 6 slot the node. That's not my issue. I'm also clearing this node way faster. Like way faster. And because I literally don't care about my refills because I'm not going to run out anyways. Who cares? Liz also has a really fast MP. Liz has a 10-second NP. How do I know? I've counted. Thoughts on Luhi? I have recorded the video. I need to get it out. So I didn't release it today like I was supposed to. That's on me. She's a good unit though. Oh, whoops. I fat fingered. Oh no, I deal more damage. Oh no. You're also not using your meta supports. Yep. Which my Castoria is bond 15, my Kayan Sky is bond 15 chat, so. Heistion and Thlalic have been carrying my ass this Lotto. Hey, as long as you can make it work. Oh, thank God I didn't hit that one. That was the wrong turn. Fully leveled attack C really does make all the difference. Yeah. I mean, I could get a fully leveled CE in this. I just... Leveling the CE all the way up to max would not have made the difference on allowing me to just, like, one tap that. So I just went like, no. Again, this is literally just a 4 press comp chat, so. Except for this time, where I turned it into a 6 press. But I don't normally do that, so. Oberon not bond 15? Actually, no. My Oberon's only bond 14. I told you guys, I'm efficient with bond. I usually try to spread it around. Which is a lot easier to do, I'll say, on a 90 plus than a 90 plus plus. That is one of the bigger issues with 90 plus plus. You are very restricted as to what units can be taken. One of the reasons I don't like 90 plus plus. It's a lot slower than yours, of course. Yeah, I mean, the biggest issue I have is Lohi is like a very good solution for the 90 plus plus. Like, so much to the degree that, like, you basically... You almost feel like if you want to run the plus plus efficiently that you need to get Lohi. I don't like that. Castoria plus favor, I got you. Whoops. Is it good design if the new gacha unit is good in the event? I think that's fine. Like, I don't have an issue with that. I think the node this time around is a little bit spicier tuned. So that, like, Lohi is one of the only good solutions to the node. Like, there are many solutions to it. Most of them are not, like, perfectly efficient, though. They all have their drawbacks. And a lot of that has to do with Bima. Bima's just a really shit choice for a unit for that node. I'm not sure why, but it's just... It's like... He's Sky Attribute, and a lot of your sabers don't have anything that can, like, damage any of that. He is Divine, and there's really only, I think, one saber that's anti-divine. That one saber would be perfect for the node, except Bima's health value is set so high that that one saber cannot actually handle that. Not without, again, a double NP or significant help. Better than having someone like Breedomart or Cashing not being good for their lottos. Yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely say I definitely side on them having the unit be good. I don't like how they currently tweak the health values is my main complaint. Bima is too beefy this time around. I feel like they could have lowered him by about 200k and it would have vastly opened up the number of options. Is a Mao node? It really is. Mao Nobu's very good for it. What's the anti-divine saber? Yamato Takeru. AKA somebody that I have at level 100 NP5 and it still isn't strong enough. So, I mean, I'm sure 120 and a level 100 CE would help that along a little bit more, but like, it still would probably be spicy. Oh my god, fingers. Sorry, I'm like tapping and it's like not registering is why. Near Bride versus Bima, though, that's fine. Bima's not the only enemy in his wave. Really kind of shit, isn't it? They really made it so that you want to use an AoE, only none of the AoEs are actually strong enough. Just need to make them 120 then, KekW? Yeah, so there's also no damage CE in this event. So all you have is damage bonus. This is one of the reasons why Luhi is extremely strong for this event. And it's one of the things I don't like about this. So again, I feel like if you're not going to have a damage CE, you need to tone down the health values a little bit more, but they didn't, so. Does 90 plus even drop? It's the Ordeal Call 1 purpley orb things. And I don't remember what else the other drop is. We can go run it if you want. You'll have that with Iliafest too? Yeah. I got chat. I'll show you my comp. And I'll even, if you want, we can run an Artoria comp. It is no skin off my back. Like I said, I can 6 slot. Okay, this was my comp, but I had to switch it around for story. Are they all MLBs? Yes. They're here? Okay, there we go. That's why. Wait, that's not it. Am I blind? Huh? Whatever. You know what I mean about the finger taps are not registering? I'm not sure why that's happening. Okay, that's right. Yeah, this is the comp Avalon gave me, and I have yet to come up with a better comp than it. So, props to Avalon. Yes, that. Sorry, I'm having to remember my muscle memory here. And I can do this actually quite efficiently because I overkill the actual requirements to run this. Like, I don't have to pop, like... I don't have to pop Takaru's second skill, and I don't have to pop the Mystic Code buff. What's up, Red Volta? How's it going? Surely the new Abby will be the problem solver? Yeah, I still gotta do the analysis for her. I don't know, like... I don't even know that I care to do an analysis for her. She's... She's better than I originally thought. She's still not that good, is the issue. She is one of the units of all time. So, that is how that is. Abby carding surprisingly hard. Yeah, it's she doesn't card hard, she crits hard because she has 100% crit damage if she NPs. How bad are we talking here? She's got a really disjointed kit, if you ask me. Okay, looking at it, purple herbs don't interest me. Yeah. So again, I have to double NP here to take out Bima. There you go. My Castoria is strong enough to kill him. It's not all the side ads. So that is one of the issues with that comp. What was I running with this? I don't know. Okay, you're not gonna work. You're enough. Yeah. Can I improve this? Whatever, let's run it. Well, I think. I certainly don't need that this turn. So we'll delay. This is one of the first comps I ran for this node. Because usually an Artoria comp and a Lancer node's a very easy way to check the node out. We're going to go ahead and start with the mana burst here. This is cheating. So, just for reference, because I spied this, I could have easily just carded him to death. I'm not going to, just for the proof of concept. In fact, I probably only needed maybe one of those Buster cards. Are you open for New Year's Servant on JP? Ooh. Summer Space Lartoria. Oh, chat, you're lucky. I actually got both Buster cards. Sorry, 2 cards here. Aria Prage? No. That would be their, what, 5th lolly in a row? There you go. So, that was a high roll on the NP. If I had a leveled CE, that would probably have clean cleared. Is it doable? Yeah. Is it easy? No. But I'm thinking. It's also an MP5 120. It is. Because I did realize there's something else I could have tried here. Hello there. Okay. Let's try and make this work. So this means it's got to be a double Oberon comp. So this is going to make things spicy. 2K foe? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm probably better to forego the early mana burst, so I won't get the advantage of double popping it. But I likely don't need it. So we'll try. Like, she easily kills this wave. This wave's not really a problem, other than this technically is a wave that mandates that you also AoE and P. So that's the dickishness of this wave. Well, this wave has very little health values. It's just enough that you're not really going to want to card it. Which is what they've done on purpose. So again, I'm not going to pop the middle skill here. which is going to be spicy because I don't have any Artoria cards. However, what I will have is double Oberon skill 1s. Let's hope this is enough. I have no idea. What's up, Ogino? Oh, saved by the double 60% crits. Woo, doggy. Yeah, this will clean kill. Darn, so close to a scuff, indeed. You could pop the Mystic code early? Probably. I don't know, that was still pretty tight. I think that probably needs the Mystic code. Because it was about 800k to Bima there. Remember, like, I think Artoria is Earth, right? The Bima is definitely not in her wheelhouse. But yeah, that's the issue with that comp. Why'd you ask me about using a Lartoria comp when you're using Saber? Why indeed, Bob? Why indeed? Bob, you want a good comp for the 90 plus? This also works with an NP2 argument, by the way, chat. Back to the faster node? Oh, I just wanted to show Bob there, but let's see. Is there some way I can improve that? I mean, I can level the C. Do I want to level the C? Do I want to bond my Oberon? Do I want to bond my Oberon? What MP levels my Koyami? 1. I don't even think her second skill's maxed. I think it's 9. So she's 10 9x. But yeah, technically for most people, Arcuid's going to be the better choice here. Now, I will say, double Koyami works here. That's what Trubs is running. This is a modified variant of this comp. Because I realized, wait, I don't even need double Koyami. I can get away with Liz. The issue for why Liz works, because I have a Grailed, or sorry, not a Grailed, a lore depend. That's right, she's female. That's right. Everybody here is Buster and female. Yep. Yeah, Liz is giving 40%. And in theory, if you really needed it, Liz also has the defense down that I'm not even using. So. Also, my Lartoria has a party-wide attack up that I'm not using. This is a minimalist comp. This is me pressing minimum amount of skills. So it's 3 skills turn 1, 1 skill turn 3. That's it. Is this JP Lotto? This is. Hello, CZ. How's it going? Damn it. I might chained. Meanwhile, presses every skill possible. Chat, I live for these comps. These comps are like, turn my brain off type comps. They're amazing. You can see just the sheer speed of it. How many am I at now, chat? 201,662. Like, I haven't done that much farming here on stream, but we going. But yeah, like the speed here is absolutely. Oh, I almost scuffed. Also, you're not using your Mystic Code skills? Correct. Of which I have Plug Suit. So, all right, chat, you want really lazy logic here? If you don't have a Mystic Code to level, and it doesn't matter what Mystic Code you use, what Mystic Code do you use? The answer is Plug Suit. And the reason why is because Plug Suit has a party-wide attack buff that does not care what card type you are. It also does not need to be targeted. In fact, in this entire comp, there is only one targeted skill. And trust me, I tried to get rid of it. The only way to get rid of it is to press more buttons. So that's the real benefit of this comp. This is close to Panini level. Like, Panini was also a 4-button press, but I believe Panini had no targeted skills. And it was such a nice comp. It was a legendary comp for the Lotto that it was in. Because everyone was just like, oh my god, this is so easy. Panini, Paracelsus, Nitocris. It was such a good comp. And the best part was, again, it worked. It did not matter. I think the only thing that mattered was you had to have like at least an NP2 Nito for one of them. And that was it. And it's like, oh damn, a lot of people have NP2 Nitos. One thing I wish they would do is make 3-star units and below not require lures. I don't think that's a problem. I think it's like perfectly fine that that's a thing. The issue at play is just that there's just a shit ton of lures out there. I think they're like our only real issue has been the rate of lures due to like them not running as many events. And I honestly don't think that's been that bad of an issue. By the way, chat, technically I can get away without pressing certain skills here. But if I don't press them, then carding happens. So it would still kill. Like, that's how safe this comp is. And there are numerous outs. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. This is a bold proclamation. But I do not think chat can get me to scuff on this comp. There's almost no way that I can. Because any scuff can be unscuffed. You literally can't make me take the wrong unit to the node, because I'm not relying on anyone's support. Even if I wrong press, like, let's say, like, really the only one I can wrong press is the second skill on Koyanskaya, and like I did right here, question mark? Or was that just an absurdly low? Oh, I didn't. There you go. I didn't even have that. So even then, it still killed. So the point I'm trying to make is like, as long as I catch it, you're not going to get me to scuff. There's always a way, Cat. A meteor can always fall on your house. Yes, but at that point, I'm dead. Quite literally, like, the worst thing I can actually do is I can pop Lartoria's skill in the wrong turn. That's it. That's the only one. And even then, if I catch that, I still have, you know, 3 extra attack skills that I can use. 4 if you count the fact that I can go into the back line. Finally got my cuckoo to 10. Nice. Dead with a scuffed run, yes. But then who wins? Chat or me? Okay, but can you do this comp blindfolded? Could I? Yes. Should I? No. I win? Well, why do you win, Bob? Would your dog survive? This is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm freed from this mortal coil, but chat has to live with the guilt of them killing me by wishing a meteor upon my house. Because I claimed victory, making me the victor? Chat, you'll have to forgive Bob. We trained him wrong, on purpose, as a joke. Can you do it blindfolded while spinning in circles? Probably, but you wouldn't be able to see it. So, like, the only way I could spin is to detach it. So you wouldn't be able to, like, actually, like, you could see me. You couldn't see it on screen, though. If you have an ass, I'll kick it. Oh, we gotta watch Kung Fu. Sorry, Kung Pao. Enter the Fist at some point. Dude, how do people have like 3 weeks off for the holidays? Wild. I want to know how people live that way, because I want to live that way myself. I blame Cad, Bob training. Yes. Cad Bob trained. Do a little dance. Make a little love. I get 2. Yeah, we don't get like any, like we normally get like just the like holiday and then like any accompanying day off. So this year's really weird because we have like Christmas day off and then we do get Thursday and Friday off. So like I'll have like a long weekend, thank God. But like for New Year's, we're just getting New Year's Day off because of that. Like, we get very minimalistic days off. They have a bunch of paid time off. Yeah, that's the thing. I just feel like everyone's probably taking it around that time. People get day off on holidays? Yes. I get 2 for Christmas and 8 to 10 weeks for summer. Are you a teacher? Because that sounds like school. Most people I know of have that are educators or have some upper level management executive. Oh, dude, like this is such a thing. Because like I don't talk about this often, but like one of the issues that I have with my family is particularly on my brother's side. It's like my brother doesn't get to spend very much time with us for the holidays. And usually the reason for that is because he spends a lot of it with his wife's family. Now, the issue that I have is he has criticized us as saying that like, oh, we're never available. We never take time off, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, believe me, I want to, right? Like, the problem is his wife's family, they practically don't work. They have like cushy jobs, like cushy executive jobs. They literally can take off whenever the hell they want for however long they want. And it's ridiculous to me. Like they can take an entire month if they so choose. And I'm like, you're holding this against us? I'm like, this is bullshit. Oh, great, rich people that don't have to work, yeah. Had to pick up my parents in the airport. No problem. Have fun. Stay safe. used to work for a media company that gave us Christmas to New Year's paid. That's nice. I would love that. Shut down for 2 weeks around Christmas and then again for 4th of July. Yeah, like, I guess I could see that, right? Like, it's so foreign to me. CEO, hope they aren't in healthcare, Kick W? Not as far as I know. Play them a sad song in the world's smallest violin. I mean, what's kind of great is, like, we're not getting to really see my brother this year. Like I have to, I think this upcoming weekend I have to go, like, I think Sunday I have to go basically over to my brother's because we're not going to get to see him at Christmas. But the great part is I'm going to literally have, like, my entire extended family here. I'm getting to see, like, my entire extended family other than my brother and his kids for, like, the first time in, like, 4 to 5 years. So it's like, okay, you're missing it. Like, I don't. So, and this is what I love, right? So, like, her whole family's off the entire time. Her brother's down here for, like, the holiday. And as far as I know, this happens, like, every year. But she's, like, screaming that she never gets to see her brother and that's why they can't visit with us during Christmas. For even, like, a day. And I'm like, huh? Like I understand you want to see your brother, but, like, you realize that your mandate that you can't miss one day with him when he's gonna be here for weeks is costing your husband his ability to meet his brother at all and his sister at all. And I'm like, I don't see how this is fair. like, you can give up one day. Early Christmas with your brother? Yeah, basically. I get to work Christmas and New Year's Eves included. Do you get paid, like, overtime, though, or double time, basically? Bro, just invite the brother. We already have. It doesn't matter. He just doesn't, like, basically he can't stand up for himself is half the issue. So, like, because he won't put his foot down, and the reason he won't put his foot down is because she will lose her shit. She is, like, one of the most childish adults I have ever seen in that regard. She just does not understand. Theater gets crushed on Christmas, worst day of the year. Wait, really? Divorce time? Nah. She's one of those people. Yeah, she's just really. Like I said, I understand wanting to see your family. I understand your family doesn't live here. Well, your brother doesn't live here, and so you don't get to see him all the time. But, like, I'm sorry, again, they literally go down there and they spend weeks with the brother. And it's like, one day's not going to kill you. That's the way I look at it. I couldn't deal with a woman like that, nor with the headache and the lack of peace. Yeah. It's really funny because I was talking to my sister about it a couple of weeks ago, and she was basically saying, like, you know, because I told her, it's like, I've been basically trying to put myself out there a little bit more and looking to date, and she's like, you need to not, like, find someone like her. I was like, oh, don't worry. I was like, you don't understand. I'm like, the entire reason I'm still single is because I refuse to date someone like that. Like, I have too much self-respect to let myself get walked over nowadays. So it's like, I look at it and I go, like, that's not worth it. I will just be better off alone than living with that. Right. So it's like, it is a big chunk about why I have gotten pickier in my age over who I end up with rather than less picky. Because I've just learned it's like I'm incompatible with certain people. Gen 10 cannot stand adults with 5-year-olds maturity. Oh, listen, she is the pickiest eater I know as well. And it's wild to me. I have a couple things I don't like to eat. Like, for instance, I don't like to eat mayonnaise. If you were to like slap something with mayonnaise in front of me and say like eat it, I would hate it. But I would eat it. Because I wouldn't want to like if I could like request it without mayonnaise, I would. But if it was like a matter of like I'm disrespecting you because it's like your cultural dish, I'll fucking eat it. I don't care. Right? Like, it's one of those deals. You could put a gun to this girl's head and she would tell you to pull the trigger before she would ever eat anything she does not like. And I'm dead serious about that. Like, I have seen this girl lose her shit and it was not pretty. Like, full on meltdown. Like, oh god, yeah. I know why my brother doesn't want to deal with it. Have you ever made your own mayonnaise? No, why would I? It's disgusting. A lot of people who hate commercial mayo do like homemade. Not all of them, but it is a thing. I mean, maybe. I've had plenty of mayonnaise though. Like, as much as I don't like it, whoops, pressed an extra button there. As much as I don't like it, I can still eat mayonnaise if it's mixed into something and I can't really taste it. I would have slapped her and just like, grow the fuck up. Not really my place to put my hands on my brother's wife. Just saying. That's how you end up in a very, very poor situation. So, but no, and that's kind of the issue at play. Is like we are always forced to be the better people and to not say anything because we know all it's going to do is upset my brother. My brother can't do much about it because if he tries to push, she'd probably divorce him, and it would just be like, okay. So I think he just doesn't. He just lets her wear the pants. Like carrots, I can't really eat. Hate the taste of it. Really? Huh. I never really found carrots had that strong of a flavor. Is it a texture thing though? Or is it a flavor thing? The fact that you can even be picky about food is such a mind-boggling idea. I mean, like I said, I don't like mayonnaise, but mayonnaise is a freaking condiment, right? Like, it's mixed into foods all the time, and normally when it's mixed in, I don't have an issue with it. It's like, I just don't want mayonnaise on my freaking, like, sandwich. That's it. Like, will I eat the sandwich still? Yeah. That's about as like picky as I get. I mean, there are certain like really weird foods I won't eat, but they're usually like cultural dishes that are not from my culture. And I'd probably still try them once. Mushrooms are a texture problem. I like mushrooms. No problems there. Just not a vegetable person. Understandable. I prefer not to have it, yeah. I hate pickles. Nothing should be soft and crunchy, yet wet at the same time. Great sauces, though. But yeah, like, I don't know. I kind of agree with that sentiment of like, I don't know how people can be so picky. I do understand not liking something, right? I understand not wanting something that you don't like. However, I don't really understand the standpoint of like, if it's unavoidable, why don't you just eat it? Unless you're just not hungry, right? Like that's always an option. But like, I don't know. Coconut tastes good, but texture-wise, not a fan. Oh, I love the texture of coconut. I friggin' love it. It's got that crunch. Pickles are disgusting. Chat, do I need to go get a pickle out of my freezer right now and eat it? In front of you. I love pickles, but I like tangy stuff. It's one of the reasons that I always have like a bag of salt and vinegar chips like right here with me. I just freaking love tangy stuff. I'll force down any food put in front of me regardless of how I feel about it. I don't know. I have a pretty good palate. I can tell if I don't like something, and I'm usually not akin to eating stuff I don't like. I'm just not akin to wasting food. Like, and if you're worried that you're not going to like something, say something to the host ahead of time. Like, don't inconvenience the host, but like, you know, like, hey, again, like I don't want mayo on my sandwich. That's something I should tell the host, right? As opposed to like, hey, don't make sandwiches at all. I fucking hate sandwiches. Like, okay. I can also understand having a food allergy. I think that's definitely a thing. I think like people have that sort of stuff. I totally get it. You want pickles left off your sandwich? Also fine, right? But yeah, it's like people can accommodate you if you speak up and you tell them. But there's a point where certain people that I know of in my life are so picky, you can't accommodate them. There's nothing you can do. They hate everything, it feels like. Like anything you can think to get them? No. Wait, are those kettle cooked chips? Hell yes, they are. So if someone made a whole meal of food you'd hate, you'd still eat it. I would question how I got into such a situation in the first place. Right? Because normally it's like, I'm going to make you this. Don't do that. That sounds terrible. I don't like that. Would you ever try balut, or is it a no-go? Oh, what's balut? Isn't balut like... Isn't it like egg or something? Yeah, fertilized duck egg. I don't know. The fact that it has like the actual duck still in it is kind of disgusting to me. Like, I get it's still like you're just eating an egg, but like, I'm not a huge egg guy. Like, I know people that love eggs. I don't love eggs, but I can eat eggs. Eggs are not on my like shit list. But that is also probably where my dislike of mayonnaise comes from. So, could I eat it? Probably. Do I want to? No. There's a major difference between no cheese, please, to I can literally only eat chicken nuggets and fries. I actually know a guy like that. I actually know a guy that can only eat chicken nuggets and fries. I don't understand it. I've tried asking him about it before. It's one of my coworkers, and I'm like, I don't get it. He is probably the pickiest person I know of, at least as of right now, because I don't know why he is that way. Right? I've never gotten the answer out of him, and that's literally the only thing I've ever seen him eat. Cad should try sago worm grub. Do I look like Timon and Pumbaa? Sir, may I have an order of your finest chicken tendies? 99% of looping is Summer Scotty Castoria to Mama Oberon. Well, what do you mean? I've known people like it. It's mental issues. Yeah, like I mean, I usually assume like in the case of my my sister-in-law, I assume that is a mental issue. She probably was coddled as a child and never forced to eat anything she didn't like. Like whereas with me as a child, my parents like don't waste food. Eat your fucking plate. They didn't say the F word, but they're like pretty much that, right? Like you're gonna eat those vegetables. I don't like them. You're gonna eat them. It is what it is. I grew up absolutely hating vegetables, and I absolutely love vegetables now. To make him a must roll when he comes to FGO? Maybe. Haven't decided that yet. Also, if. Meanwhile, I just shoved all this food down Cad's DMs, which he won't see until after stream ends. You didn't send me anything. What do you mean? I had an autistic student who could only eat chicken nuggets and Cheetos. We did get her to eat graham crackers. See, like, I'm going to say at least with, like, autism, because, like, don't, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, but don't, isn't it often a thing that, like, autistic people have problem, like, swallowing? So, like, I could kind of see that, where, like, they maybe would have a restrictive diet. And I'm not talking about internet autism, chat. I'm talking about, like, actually autistic, right? But yeah, like I feel like if you're somebody in one of those situations, you're not who I'm talking about. Like I perfectly understand if somebody has a medical condition for how they could be like picky because of that. People that don't drink water at all, I don't know how they do it. Yeah, that's wild to me as well. Do they just exist on soda? Is that like the Asmongold like mentality? Couldn't have food on their plate touching. I know plenty of people like that. I myself don't like to touch food, but it's not like the end of the world if it does. Like I will try to keep it separate, but I mean there's some stuff that I like to mix together, so it's not the end of the world. Autistic people can get strange triggers with various foods, so I believe it. Okay. To get me Wendy's because I couldn't eat any of the food there? Damn. You just didn't want to be at the wedding, did you? Some of them might have swallowing issues. Yeah, okay. I only drink water now? That's probably what I need to do. I need to cut out like all this extra caffeine and shit. Juice only? I'm like 8 months into no soda. Good for you. I cut out soda for like pretty much like a year. Back when I was having the tooth issues that I was having. I'm still having tooth issues, but it's because I've started to drink soda again. I should probably stop drinking soda again. But like, honestly, it did help. It absolutely like resolved the issue. There are people that think Coca-Cola and such are good for you. I mean, like, I'm sure to a degree, like, a lot of the ingredients of soda aren't bad for you, but, like, also at the same time, sugar just rots your fucking teeth, so it doesn't matter. Too used to drinking energy drinks? Yeah. Caffeine is okay in moderation. I'm usually fine. Like, throughout the week, I have a cup of coffee in the morning. Okay. And then I basically at lunch have a singular soda. And then for dinner, I usually have water. And I usually throughout the day drink water. Like while I'm at work. And that's like my weekly schedule. It's only on the weekends that I'm bad. On the weekends, I gorge myself on like soda and sweet tea and any number of things because I don't have to go to bed at any reasonable time. I'm still at 125 pounds. Deontay, that's really small. One of those who needs to drink a whole bottle every few hours of water. I'm not normally that bad, but like for instance, throughout the course of the stream, I'm already like down to here in my water bottle. Like it'll probably be gone by the end of stream. Now part of that's because I'm talking a lot. So like if I'm not using my voice very much, I don't need very much water. 2 cups a day mixed with protein powder. Yeah, I need to find like healthier stuff because like my only issue with drinking water all the time is I get very bored drinking water all the time. Like I need something with flavor, but it feels like all anyone wants to do is offer like sweetened alternatives to everything. And I'm like, I really don't need sweet, nor do I need caffeine. I just need something that has some flavor that's not just water. Force them to drink tea. I mean, I have tea. What about those flavor packets for water? I've never tried them. Maybe that would be a thing, right? Chocolate protein powder? I could dig that. Unfortunately, though. So, let me explain something for you guys. Back when I was in high school, especially my like senior year of high school, I was getting recruited for baseball, and I was told to bulk up, quote unquote. So they had me on a 4,000 calorie diet, and it was difficult to keep it all down. And I didn't bulk up. And the reason I didn't bulk up is because at the time I was playing baseball and basketball, I was usually running over a mile in each, after each. And basically on top of that, I was going in to work out in the mornings. So I didn't manage to put on any weight. I could barely keep all of my food down. And in the entire process, I was chugging protein shakes. And usually the only protein shakes I could stomach at that point were the chocolate ones. So I'm not sure if that would give me PTSD or not. 4K is a lot. It is a lot. To be fair, though, like my normal, like, so I'd wager my normal caloric intake is like 2,800 or something like that. Like I'm way above what a normal, like average 2,000 calorie person is. But like if I'm active, oh God, it's probably more. So that's the issue. And I was like super active at that time. It's like what NFL linemen have to do to force themselves. Yes, it's rough. It is actually rough to eat that much food. Have you heard of HelloFresh? I have. Yeah, HelloFresh, Factor, all of those. Tried to recruit me for football, not knowing I was still in 7th grade. I was pretty big. Nice. Eating 12,000 calories a day when he competed, that's just fucking nuts, but I believe it. Like, when you are that active, you kind of have to eat that much. It's just, it is so difficult to actually eat that much, chat. Like, I cannot stress to you enough how rough it can be to actually, like, eat that many calories in a day. You burn up a ton of calories swimming. Well, it's easy because swimming's using your entire body, right? Like you're using not only your muscles, your shoulders, your back, your core, your legs, everything. Everything goes into swimming. So it's a thing. I also swam like 10 hours a day. See, that's nutty to me, but swimming is not like any other sport. Swimming is like the one sport where the strain on your body is actually lessened. So you can do a lot more and you can go a lot further. It doesn't mean you're not still burning calories, though. It just means you're not operating basically in normal gravity. So it's like, it's almost to your benefit in that regard. But yeah, that's still like, I'm sure that's still an insane session. I don't swim, just float. Yeah. Phelps also has ADHD, which I found interesting. You know, I think a lot of people nowadays want to claim that they have ADHD, but I think a lot of people don't actually. I think a lot of people just struggle with the normal issue of like paying attention to things. Because their work is boring, their school is boring, and trying to stay on task and stay focused is rough. Small country should know luck. It's fine. Have humans ever excelled at paying attention? Huh? What'd you say? But yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I actually like zoned out right there. ADHD is a complicated topic if you don't actually know anything about it beyond a struggle to focus. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think a lot of people think they have ADHD and they don't. I'm not talking about the people that have actually been diagnosed. ADD and ADHD are different as well. Yeah. No problem. Catch you later, warehouse. I'm literally just a normal person, but I get distracted a lot. I have a huge issue because I am so used to it at this point. I didn't used to be this way, but because I have had to like multitask for so many things that I do, again, like work, like stream, like literally anything I do at this point, that I have gotten to the point that I almost have to have something to do. Like, it's really weird. I did not used to be that way. I was perfectly content with being bored, with just sitting there, just like minding my own business. Now I have to have something because I'm just always. And even then, it's like, am I watching anime? All right, I need to be eating. I need to be working on something. I need to be like playing a game alongside of it. Like, I can't just sit down and just watch one thing. I can't do it. I have to do more. It's wild. I don't know why this is the way that it is for me, but it just is. It's like I said, growing up, I don't think I was ever that way, but like now, TikTok brain, kind of, not really. Like TikTok brain to me is just like you easily just keep moving on. You're just like boom, boom, boom. You have short attention span. I don't have short attention span. I have like this, just this. This is not enough. Like, I literally have to be having a conversation with you guys while doing this. Which is also like one of the hardest things for me is whenever I stream variety and like people are not talking in chat, it's rough because like then I'm just playing the game. It's like addicted to stimulation, kind of. Watches as CAD does a 24-hour Lotto stream with no chat interaction. Got it? Oh, I could absolutely do that. However, I would probably at that point, if I couldn't interact with chat and I was somehow still streaming, I would probably not be on camera and I'd probably just be over on the side, like watching something. Or I would be on camera and I just wouldn't be on voice and I would instead be like talking with people in Discord. Like I think at this point it's one of the reasons that I am like I crave interaction with people. Like it's why I love going into Discord every day. It's why I love talking with people every day. It's why I like, streaming with you guys every day. I just that interaction is stimulating to me. I love having discussions with you guys. So I purposely go on walks and not have anything on, no podcast, just pondering the world. So I totally get that. And I feel like I used to be this way. And then I realized the dangers of the human mind. And that may be the actual reason. I don't like when my brain has too much time to think. I'm dead serious. Like, some of chat will absolutely understand what I'm talking about. When your brain gets idle, the places it goes to are usually not good. Overthinking hurts. It's not even overthinking. It's having nothing to think about, so your brain starts to think of things on its own. And the things it thinks about are like the big questions. Why am I here? What am I doing? What have I accomplished? Where am I going to go when I die? What am I going to leave behind? Intrusive thoughts. Yeah, it's fucking, that's the problem. I tend to enjoy the places my brain goes, but not all the time. Yeah, it's weird because like as a kid, didn't bother me, but like as an adult, my brain has started to go those places, and now I'm just like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm just gonna fill my brain with other stuff. Let me just enjoy my life. I don't want to keep thinking about the future. That's just fucking depressing. Letting my mind wander often leads me into existential dread. Yup. Yup. Yeah, like it's one thing if I have like a problem that I'm needing to tackle and I have some moments to like sit down and just think about that. That's okay. Because that's like, all right, I've got to like think about what I need to actually do here. I need to lay out a plan of attack, come up with some sort of strategy and execute it, right? I'm talking about when you truly like have that moment where like you're at ease, there's nothing bothering you, and you're alone, and you have all the time in the world to think. That's rough. I worry too much. It drives me nuts and makes me depressed. Yeah, the best thing I can tell you guys. So like two things. One, busy yourselves. Like could be working out, could be coming up with a hobby, could be, literally going and just like talking to someone or going out doing something. That is always better than just leaving yourself alone with your own thoughts. At least like when we're in these situations that we're talking about, or we're getting to the point that we're self-intrusive, right? Sometimes it's easier to sleep so you don't think about anything but your wet dreams. I learned to enjoy my life in my late teens to my personal things that was happening in my life. Yeah. How I can maximize my time to get the most stuff done I can get in the smallest amount of time possible. Yep. That's a big thing I do too. I self-schedule, like within my head. Becoming cognizant of the horrors of reality is a dangerous pastime. Yeah. I feel like it's a thing that just happens to you as you get older. Like As you're no longer a teenager, as you graduate college, you get out there, you finally like find your way in the world, then you start to think about the future. That's when it hits you. Like, I feel like before that point, you're still like, oh man, I got to do this, I got to do that, I need to be like working on this, I need to be like aiming for that. Like, once you get like settled ever so slightly, it hits you, and you're like, oh. I suffered overexposure to those types of thoughts. Yep. And I've had people come to me before and they're like, what do you do when you're like that? And I'm like, first of all, I fucking hate it. I'm like that too. I do not have the easy solution. What I can tell you for what has worked for me, don't just let yourself sit there and think. Do something. It will always be better. Always. Always. I need to distract myself so I don't worry about that. Yep. But that's what I've realized is I think like this is where a lot of my multitasking comes from now is like, yeah, I've decided like internally to fill my brain, and it's my own personal adaptation to it. I'm busy. I can't have intrusive thoughts. And so far it's very true. I want to be cozy and enjoy myself, not stressed about stuff. Yeah, very much. Like, from the 90 plus to the 90 plus plus, as we discovered, I apparently can do the 90 plus plus a lot more efficiently, but this is faster. And less button presses. But no, that's I've also realized that like to play mind games with myself like is another easy way to do it. If I'm worried about just sitting there and just thinking the entire time, I would rather solve a puzzle or like tell myself there's something instead that I need to do. Like one of these, chat. An expert level Sudoku. Now, I haven't done one of these in a couple days. This might not be fast or easy for me. But normally, I can solve one of these relatively fast. Okay, that's... So there's my 3s done. There's my 4s. What you see and the way you do Sudoku, chat, is you basically fill out everything for where you know numbers are, and then you start pulling out for where you know numbers aren't. Boom, that's a 5. And I'm not even going like super fast here, but I'm going probably faster than most of you can keep up with. Or how I'm like determining where stuff is. There you go, that's a 6. Well, this is what I've learned to do. I've just learned to go like, all right, do I have some dead time and I have nothing else to think about? Go fucking solve a puzzle. Spend some of that mental energy. It's better. I think I missed a panel there on the 6s somehow, but whatever. And like at my peak, I can solve one of these in like 4 to 5 minutes. All right, so that's interesting. So that makes only one of these. Makes that, which makes that it. Okay. There's that. That's an 8. Da-da-da-da. That makes this also an 8. I did a wrong there. Must mean that this is 9, but we'll hold off on that for one quick second. Yep, this must be 9. One of those two must be 9. You are 9. You are 9. Okay. This is all that's left. I've got 2 and 4 in each of those, so they're gone. That's the only 3, so that's a 3. That can't be 4 since both of these are 2 and 4. My 8s are paired down here, so there's nothing else on that line. Oh, weird. We almost have a relationship there. That's 7. That's 5. Also a 7. And when you get down, this begins to solve itself, which is kind of hilarious to me. Okay, that's a 5 because 2 and 4 are right there and there. That's 1. That's a 3. How do you solve these? I'll explain it in a second. I'm trying to solve it as fast as possible, but I may have hit a dead end here. Basically, it's pattern recognition to a large degree. Okay, so we can't have 2 and 4 there, 2 there, 2 there, 4 there. 6 and 9 are there, so they cannot be there. Makes these 1 and 7. 1 and 7 are there, so 1 can't be there, 1 can't be there. I need to eliminate one of those 5s. I have a very haphazard way of solving some of these, and sometimes I don't go very fast. Sometimes I go lightning quick, other times I do not. Alright, so 6 can't be there. That is my only 3. The 3s are just about done. In fact, they are done right there. Magic? It's number magic, chat. Probably something I'm missing right here that's in plain sight. There's a 1 down there too, that's annoying. How are the 1s? It's all just pattern recognition? Yeah, there's a couple rules. Two, 4, 2, 9, 4, 9. Therefore, this cannot be 4. This cannot be 2. Those are both 5 and 6. There's 2 and 4 again. Oh wow, those are okay. Yeah, it's a problem when you keep having pairs like this and you can't actually pair them up. Man, I'm slow on this one. My brain is not functioning well. Yeah, see, it's telling me, it's like, hey, there's a hint. 'Cause I'm taking too long. There's something I'm missing. There's like one thing that if I get it, it'll just solve the entire thing. All right, so when in doubt, I start doing one of these. I start going through the numbers one by one. Usually takes longer, but it's usually another easy way to solve. 2 is going to be very difficult. Making sure there's not something I'm missing here. Okay, 3. We solved 4. All right, so 4 is just here and here. That's fine. There are so many 2s and 4s that if I land on either a 2 or a 4, it likely solves the entire thing. 5. Nice Laratoria in the Santa outfit. Thank you. It's Saki Yamama's piece. Go give him some love. You type in exclamation point art. Six. Ugh. I picked a toughie to show off the chat with. Da-da-da. Basically, the top row and right here are the only ones that aren't done for 7. 8. 8's nearly done. Just these 4. 9. A quick example, yes. Like I said, normally I solved them in like basically anywhere from like 5 to 8 minutes, and this is like now an 11-minute one. I may have to take the hint. Because there's something here that I'm not seeing. Probably right here or somewhere in this one. There is some sort of pattern here that I cannot seem to resolve. And maybe here. There's something extra in here that shouldn't be here. Oh no, I've had one where I solved it for chat in like under 5 minutes. Which is very fast. Because again, this is extreme level. Like, it's technically not the highest. The highest is if you do killer extreme, which I have done before. Chat, you don't want to see that. That'll hurt your brain. You won't even know what's going on with that one. Yeah, there's like a thread and I just need to pull it. What am I missing? Give me the hint. Oh, okay. So this tells me there's technically nothing that I missed. There's no easily discernible thing. There's probably a way that I could solve it, but I would literally have to actually sit down and plot a number in and solve it that way. So, what are the easiest ways to do this? Pick this one. All right. So now we know that 4 can't be here or here since it's here. So I had to take the hint, chat, for the purposes of moving on, and you'll see how this entire thing is just going to solve itself now. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. The speedy finish. Yep. Sometimes I just have to. Like, some of them are very hard. Basically, the way you solve Sudoku is Sudoku. I don't know if that's the same one or not because I hit restart. But Sudoku is a numbers game. So there cannot, in any given square, like, you have to have all numbers 1 through 9. In any given row, you have to have all numbers 1 through 9, and in any given column, you have to have all numbers 1 through 9. And this goes throughout everything. So based off each one, you can literally go process of elimination. So again, like, to solve the ones here, you go like, okay, I know none of the rest of these in this column can be 1. There's also a 1 over here, which means only these 3 can be 1s. Same thing here. I know only these. Only these. Now, technically, any of these. And there's a couple rules you have to watch out for. So, for instance, all of these are boxed off. That right there must be a 1. Therefore, I know it's 1, and I can just go ahead and do it, which helps me solve some of the others. So you can see it removed some of the other markings that I did. These 2 must be a 1. Boom, there you go. Now, from here, these 2 must be a 2. These 3 must be a 2. You can see. Now only these 2 can be. So because only these 2 can be, this one can't be. Therefore, only these 2 can be. So each one is like taking up its own row then at that point. Same thing here. I've eliminated the top row over here, so only these 2 can be 2s. Therefore, only these 4 can be 2s. Because I know the 2 must be on this, like in one of these 2 spaces, which eliminates it from being in the entire rest of the row. And that is entirely how you can, like, plot all of these out. And then for eliminating them, there are a couple of other rules. I'm sorry, I didn't mean for this to be a Sudoku demonstration stream, but I do find Sudoku incredibly interesting. It's more interesting the more you know about it. The less you know about it, the less interesting it is. It just looks like numbers on a page. But technically, every Sudoku is solvable as long as you have enough stuff. And you can find things like pairs. I want to see if I can get one for chat. But there's not always guaranteed to be one. And what that means is that essentially I have found 2 numbers that must be in two squares within the same, like, 9 square box. Therefore, I know that they are a pair. No other numbers can be in that box then. So it's a really interesting rule when you find that sort of stuff. There's also pointing pairs and triples and various other things. With triplets and quads. Quads are a lot harder to deal with. I basically just don't fuck with quads. Like, you can have... Oh, wait, hold on. You were a 7. But I'll see if I can show chat. So let me quickly do the rest of these. Let's see if I can show chat a example of exactly what I'm talking about. Because usually I need to get the entire board filled out before I do something like that. Because what I'm doing here is I'm basically taking notes. Each of these notes tells me where certain things are. And what I've also tried to do is I've tried to make note of like very obvious things that could be a pair. Because if I can mark them as such in the stages of taking notes, it usually makes things a lot easier. For instance, only 2 and 9 can be here. How do I know that, chat? Well, for starters, there is no other 2 anywhere else here. You can see, just like the 9, it's both are bisecting that. And just like the 9, both are up here, sealing off this other side. So only 2 and 9 can be there, therefore, they were the only numbers that could be in these 2 squares. So I got to get rid of literally all the other numbers that were there. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So it does. It allows you to like solve for things that seemingly are unsolvable. And it looks like you're just guessing, but you're not. You actually like it's kind of like super advanced Minesweeper. You know if you can. Well, actually, I say that super advanced Minesweeper, you're guessing. With this you kind of end up where you're like, yes, I've actually solved this. I actually know. So did I get all the 9s in here? I think I did. Okay, so same thing. This is a 4 and a 3, this is a 4 and a 3, therefore this is 6. So it's not. Why is it not? Simple, because I'm an idiot. Therefore, there must be something else here. It means I got a number wrong if this is not the case. So basically, I didn't put one of the numbers in here. And the answer is 5s. So technically, I made a mistake, and I now know this is a 5, but I like to not give myself that win. And I try to just ignore it. But yeah, it just means that like when I was like doling out all the 5s here, I just somehow missed marking that thing. Okay. Good potential pairing amongst all these. Okay, 9 cannot be here or here, since we already know that it's down here. Like I said, I'm rusty. I haven't played Sudoku in like 2 weeks. Wow, this one's a toughie to get going. Okay, so 2, 3, and 4, 2 and 4, and 4 and 3. These are a triple. Therefore, each of them is covered. Therefore, 4 and 3 cannot be down here, which makes this 6 and it makes this 8. You can see now this is only 1 and 3. Makes this 6 and this 5. These two are 1 and 4. One and 3, so therefore that's 7. Therefore that's 4. So you can see I'm going to end up backing into the answer for that. That is the only 6. So it's 6. Like looking across this row, there was no other 6. You'll occasionally see stuff like that too, where it's like, technically the answer was right there in front of you, but it was masked by all the other numbers. So you just have to find it. And that's something where like, if I did it by the numbers, so for instance, I could see like, okay, these top 2 rows had been eliminated. This one came down here, and somehow there was not a 6 here. So therefore this had to be 6 by process of elimination. If that 9 wasn't there, this would only have to be 9s. Okay. This is a quad. 3, 4, 8, 9, 3, 4, 8, 3, 4, 8, 4, 9. Therefore, 3... Oh, whoops. There you go. Made another mistake. 3, 8, and 9 cannot be here. 3 and 8 cannot be here. And 9 cannot be here. And that makes sense when you look at what the rest of these numbers are, because they are another quad. What the fuck? This is another long one. But this one feels more solvable. Still a lot left on the board. Cat's being absorbed by the Sudoku before my eyes. More like it's burning into my eyes because it's like just bright white. So what I try to do, chat, is I try to look laterally. Sorry, horizontally and then like vertically. Like you'll see me like scan across, looking at each, and then I start going like up and down basically. Sometimes you have to look within a 9 square as well. Because if you can find a pattern within it, then you can usually solve it. Finding even one pattern in a 9 square usually simplifies it quite a bit. Like, for instance, down here. Okay, I feel like 4, 3, 2, 3, 7, 2, 3, 4, 7. So these 3 are all the same, but they're not. It's not enough. If you have 4 numbers, 3 squares is not enough to cover it. You need a 4th square with all the same numbers. Unfortunately, the only other ones down here also have 5 in them. So we have to have 5 squares then. So 3, 4, 5 can fit in there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 qualifies. So here you go. The thing about 5s is you need to be careful. So what's not here? 6 is not here. And 6 is not here, but there's not enough. So if like it was 6 and another number, we would have a pair right here is what we would have. But we can't process of eliminate this. Because there's too many numbers in play. Quads is kind of the limit that it works. We're aware that 6 is here. There's probably another number paired with it. It very well might be 5. I'm not sure, but... yeah, it's also not good. Man. Alright. Let's solve it with the numbers if we can. See if there's anything I missed. Because sometimes what this will help me do is if I'm looking like at the 2s here, I might notice that I like fucked up and I put a 2 where I shouldn't have. Which is usually one of the reasons I can't solve it. It's like, hey, I did a dumb and I overlapped. Or I might notice something from looking at it with a number-based perspective. So 3 is my problem, child. There is only 1 3 on the entire board. That is definitely an issue. And normally I don't like break things down like this verbally, so it's definitely slowing me down. But I think it's actually helpful to you guys to see what's like going on in my thought processes. Not a lot I can do with the 3, so we're looking at the 4s. Okay, interesting. All right, so 5 is locked to this, which means you can't be 5, you can't be 5, and you can't be 5. Therefore, I fucked up. I technically not a fuck up, but I didn't notice that there was an excluding pattern there. So you can see that helped fill in. Now we have an entire column that's filled in. It also means that you cannot be 3. Means that we have a pair of 8, 9 there. Which also means that these are 2 and 5 exclusively now. Sixes. 6 right there. Right here. And then these 4, which is a L shape, basically. Ooh, there's my only 7. So that was another missed one. See, like I said, sometimes just looking at it from a different perspective, you'll see it. Right there and there, all that's left. And again, if I'm not like stopping to try and break this down, I can go faster. Admittedly, my brain do be going slow. I think my record for one of these is 4 minutes and 15 seconds. So you can see just how much longer it's taking me compared to that. And usually Sudoku is an easy way for me to be able to tell like how fast my brain's working. If my brain's like on point, I solve a Sudoku like stupidly fast. If it's not, I may be having problems today. I think this may just be entirely on me. All right, so that revealed just about everything it could. Yeah, we already knew that the 8 was there. Brain doobie? It do be that. It do be. Oh, whoa. Almost knocked my drink over. I was going to scratch my shoulder there. Okay, 1 is right here and here, so it cannot be here. Which means 1 is here and here. So I started the cycle over, I'm looking at the 1s again, but it's because stuff changed. 1 was one of the numbers that got added. Same thing with 4. So we're looking to see, there you go, that is the only 4. So because I found some stuff, I go back and I look to see did anything else change with those numbers. All right, now we have a pairing of 3 and 8. This makes this the only 9. That's really good, and this should start to solve itself. No hint this time, chat. See, I can usually tell when I'm like, I hit the wrong button. I literally hit the wrong button. Instead of 6, I hit 5. Wait, what? Hold on, there's still an error in this cell. Huh? Alright, 1 can't be there. 2 can't be there. 3 can't be there. 4 can't be there. 5 can't be there. 6 we know is not there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remove it because it's wrong. 7 can't be there. 8? It's 8. Mother. That's what's the backbreaker is, like, if you don't get your notes right at the beginning, you just end up being wrong. So no hints, but I fucked up too many times. Unconsciously trying to kill your new PC. Oh no, this does nothing to like kill my new PC. This is such an easy thing to run. That was an 8. Yeah, it was. All right, let me see if I can actually solve it fast. We've only got a little bit of time left anyways, chat. I've had my warm-ups. Wait, that can't be a 2. Or that. Oh, this one's way easier. I'm getting very lucky at the beginning. Granted, that doesn't necessarily mean it'll be easy in the stretch. But you can see if I'm not stopping to slow down and explain things, I'm a lot faster and more methodical at taking notes. Okay, nothing there. And usually how quick I can take the notes is how fast I can solve. Oh, this is going to begin to solve itself pretty fast. I can just get... Whoa. Double pair. I got chat 427. That was a little bit faster. Like I said, it's fun. I like Sudoku. Though there are frustrating games. But like I said, I knew it. The first two were my difficult ones, and they were my warm-ups, and then it was like, boom. The thing I never got to show you guys, there was one pattern, and there's one rule that I never got to use, which is that, let me see if I can, like, point it out to you guys here real fast. So, let's say, like, and don't pay any attention to any of the rest of the numbers, right? But, like, let's say that I had this, and like this. So there's a rule that stipulates if you have pointing pairs like this aligned with another set of pointing pairs, there can't be a box. There can't be all four of them. Therefore, by process of elimination, that would make this a 3. You literally can just remove them from that. It's a really cool trick, and you just get to go like boop, 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 and just nail it. And I've had like entire Sudoku puzzles that are filled with those. Which makes it really rough, but it's a really cool rule for that. And it also means like nothing else in like any of these squares can be 1 through 7. Nothing else in any of these squares can be 1 through 7. So it's really, really cool. It's a really, really interesting rule. I forget what the rule's called. I know most of the Sudoku rules. I can't tell you the actual name for them. Because I either learned them by just brute forcing it, or I learned them by actually going and reading about it. This this new FGO update hits different. Yeah, it does. I know this like bored a lot of people. I'm sorry for that. I know you guys didn't want your brain to hurt. It's fine. Anyways, let me see who all's on tonight. I am seeing Mr. Fino. So I'm gonna send you guys Fino's way. You can tell Fino that I solved Sudoku. Yeah, I got a couple things that I want to record this week, so I am gonna try to like brute force the Lotto as much as I can while I'm at work. If I get done with the Lotto faster, I'm done with the Lotto and I don't give a crap. Okay? We got plenty of stuff we got to get prepped for. We got LB7 coming up on NA. I've got all the New Year's videos that I got to make again. So that's going to be a thing. But naturally, like, it's just stuff I've got to get to. So I've got to get, like, everything I can done as fast as I can. So expect me to just kind of, like, brute force this Lotto to buy myself more time. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream overall. Again, it just definitely need to keep farming. I didn't farm there during Sudoku, so that was my break mentally, I guess. But go give Mr. Fino my love.